Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is not my pleasure or privilege to report that Black Adam has supposedly been banned in China, further dashing The Rock's plans for his expansion into the DC EU, leaving it all up to whether or not James Gunn and Peter Safran can smell what The Rock is cooking. My God, it's a travesty, folks. We're going to be talking about that tonight and a hell of a lot more here. Hollywood After Dark. Folks, let's fucking go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. It is, of course, the 13th, I think. No, what day is it? It's the 3rd, not the 13th. I don't even know what's going on anymore. What day is it, folks? I have no freaking idea what's going on. Sorry, I'm a little bit later than usual. I was going to go live at my usual time around 9:30, but I was hanging out with the family and getting caught up on Andor. And my God, just my God. Watched about 3 episodes of that tonight. Very much enjoying everything going on with Andor. I cannot believe how good that damn show is. People, I see the comments, you know, I see the Andor, it's slow, it's nothing's going on. Eat shit, all right? Like, just eat. I'm sorry, Star Wars is there's an adult talking. Maybe sit down, eat your corn puffs, and watch, like, you know, Star Wars holiday special. Maybe you'll feel a little bit better, hit you right in your jumble, these things along those lines. But man, oh man, Andor is a fantastically amazing show. So let's take a quick look here at the chat. I see Ryan Hartwell says, what's up? What's up? How you doing, buddy? Ralph Stubble Tits here says, God, this Rock shit is getting old. Black Adam already really here's the thing, man. What the fuck else is going on? Not much else is going on. People are talking about about Black Adam, and it's not doing well. There's not a lot of wins for this movie. I mean, there's one today, which we'll kind of talk about, but this is what's going on. I'm sorry. Like, if you have other things you want to discuss, feel free to, you know, suggest them, or chill the fuck out. Why did I make The Rock cry? Because he is. He is actually. Okay. I'll say, I kind of want to, I have a whole spiel for when we get to the Black Adam part, because it's all part of my stuff. Anyway, here, Moisture for 5, thanks, buddy, says here, if Black Panther can't even get into China, will Black Panther 2 get made? Oh, sorry, Black Adam can't get into China. Well, Black Panther 2 has already been made. Will Black Panther 2 get in? Yes, most likely. I wouldn't see them not putting it in there. That is, unless Namor's abilities are a little bit too on the, you know, restrictive side and whatnot. However, there's a lot of Marvel fans in China. So, you know, when we look at what's going on, when we look at what's being reported, we can talk about that, because that does kind of come into play. Black Panther 2, I do think will probably get in there. I know Avatar definitely will, because that one did very well for the Chinese economy. I don't quite know how Black Panther 1 did. I don't want to, if I recall, wasn't there like a disdain from China 4.5 years ago when Black Panther came out, where they were more or less saying that, like, you know, people were saying that the movie was too dark, and there was like, yeah, that's right. Okay, so if you guys remember, there was a couple reports coming out of China that people misconstrued 4.5 years ago, where on Chinese social media, you were seeing reports that Black Panther was too dark. And people like, it's too dark. They're racist in China. My God, they're racist. What they were talking about was the final fight scene in the movie, and how, you know, Killmonger versus Black Panther in a dimly lit, you know, fucking vibranium cave fighting each other. And if you watch the movie in 3D requires a shitload more in regards to light. So you have to pump up the intensity of the bulb. And if your bulb starts to wear and it starts to lose its you know, oomph, its chutzpah, so to speak, it starts to dim out. And I know this from working in movie theaters and being a projectionist and everything else. Like, this stuff happens. So it wasn't racism that they were complaining about. It was just the way that the movie was made. And in my, you know, Occam's razor approach based upon my personal experience, it had to do with dim bulbs and making that final fight scene very difficult to see. But the way that the Western media jumped on that was basically the Chinese are racist, that's basically what it was, right? So if you think what happened, like it happened. But anywhere else, anyway else, see, Zaslav don't know math. Yeah, he does. Yeah, there's some Zaslav stuff that I talk about there. Spice World turned 25. My God, I am getting old, Spherical Man. If Spice Girls turned 25, jeez, cheesy, crazy guys. That's just nutty. That's just nutty as all hell. I can't believe that. RJ here says no Marvel movie has gotten into China since Spider-Man Far From Home. Yeah. But then again, I mean, you had the pandemic and their theaters were shut down in 2020. So, there's that. Nothing came out in 2020. And then China's also gone a lot more restrictive. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if Black Panther 2 will make its way to China. I don't think that's really going to matter that much, to be honest with you. RJ here says China basically blocked all Marvel movies over the past 3 years. Well, again, COVID. And then whatever Xi Jinping is up to with this, look, Xi Jinping wants to limit the Western values coming in that are presented in films coming from the West to China. He really, really, really does. He doesn't want people out there hearing about freedom and going, hey, this is an interesting concept, this whole freedom thing, And obviously also there's that whole de-sissification that he's trying to do, where he's trying to get rid of any man on TV that might look a bit metrosexual. Remember that terminology from back in the day? Good old metrosexuals, right? When a bunch of straight dudes were rocking glitter and hair product because this made them look fancy. I remember the one time my best friend, he was metro and he owned it too, but he showed up one night to pick me up and he was wearing this nice bowler shirt, and he had I'm pretty sure he had guy liner on, and he had a splash of glitter, and I just looked at him like, the fuck are you doing? But then when him and I went to go see Spice Girls 15 years ago, I actually dressed in a nice, I dressed up. I had a nice shirt on, had my blazer, I had nice jeans, nice shoes, and he shows up wearing a Dropkick Murphys outfit, right? A shirt with looking like he's going to a punk show. We just looked fundamentally diametrically opposed to one another as a result of the way that we were dressed going to see Spice Girls. I don't know why. But yet when he dragged me to go see Kylie Minogue twice, I just went rocking regular clothes, that was fine. Anyway, yeah, China's doing his thing. We can't really rely on China anymore. That's the kind of thing, right? We can't really rely on China. So I think really it's kind of dumb to do that. Reed here says that the Weird Al movies comes out on Friday. I can't wait. It's free on the Roku channel. I have a Roku TV and there's already a little thing on there for it. So I was hopeful. I was trying to see if there were any press screeners they were giving out, if I could get my hands on it a little bit early to be able to get in on it, but unfortunately I can't. So I'll be watching it. I'll be watching it later on. Wait, when does it drop? Right, it drops. Wait, oh no, it drops tonight at midnight, doesn't it? Oh shit, I'll be watching it probably tonight then. So I can't wait to watch it. That's what I'll be watching and reviewing. Really looking forward. Zachary here says, so this is Black Adam stuff. What does it mean for Superman? I'm assuming not much. I mean, it really depends, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. So we'll have to wait and see, obviously, what's going on with that one. Yeah, RJ, I'll send you the link real quick. There's not a lot going on tonight. I feel like there's not a great deal of stuff going down. And I was really having to pull myself away from watching Andor because I want to watch episode 9. And because I hear it's a really good episode. So I want to watch episode 9. And I was like, oh yeah, I got to go live stream. So I'm like, I got to do that. One of those nights where I'm not too sure that I was like, I don't really know. What am I drinking? I'm drinking water. That's all. I'm drinking water. Yeah, I know there's a little bit of sensitivity on the microphone. What's up, RJ? How you doing?
Hey, not much, man. What's going on?
Not chilling, dude. Just I was hanging out with the fam.
Yeah.
Watching my girlfriend's like, what do you want to watch tonight? And I'm all like, well, I kind of want to watch Andor because I ended up watching episode 5 last night because I was a couple episodes behind. I was 4 or 5 episodes behind.
Mhm.
And I was like, man, holy shit, I gotta play catch up. So I watched an episode last night, and I'm like, man, that was really good, but I got to go to bed because I got to get up to take the kids to school. And then, with my daughter having vomited like all over the floor and wall last night,
Oh no.
that was just like,
Just like normal sick, or was something going on?
you know what it is? I think I realized that like we made her, she wanted a cup of noodle for dinner. And like we gave her that, and then she barely ate any of it. But then she only did that because she really wanted Halloween candy. And I think she got into the can. I think when you turn your back and they grab more than you think. I think she ate more
Overate
candy
all that candy.
than
Yeah.
and then she wasn't feeling good, and it just like hit her. And so it was like all in my office, and I cleaned it up last night, and I was like, holy shit. But so we ended up staying home today, and we just watched Andor tonight. It's like I was thinking about it today. I'll tell you this, man. I was thinking about it like how I've been approaching like TikTok and like YouTube Shorts and whatnot, and I think I'm doing it all wrong, right? I think I'm doing it all wrong. And I say that because it's the same concept here when you look at YouTube as a whole. Like when you create content, what kind of content do you want to create? And I think it's like covering the true crime stuff, talking about like, true crime cases are interesting, but it's kind of limiting in regards to like can you fit a full story in 60 seconds? Or if you break it up into a couple chapters, are people going to stick around to watch the rest of it due to the way the algorithm shows them the content, right? So I'm like, I got to think of like, what I watch movie wise on TikTok and YouTube Shorts has a lot to do with just like quick overviews of movies or why people like them. And I'm like, you know what? I think that's more of the entertaining facet, like actually talking about everything, and that's where I'm like trying to figure out like evolution. That's where my brain's been all day because there's been not much else going on.
I think you have to be in that mindset as a content creator, especially because the platform's constantly changing. It requires you to evolve constantly to survive. If you think about it.
Yeah. Oh, it really does. Here, hold on. One answer. Garrick asks, "How is Schwarzenegger and Stallone movie stars, but The Rock isn't?" They've led franchises. They've held up movies. They've elevated movies. There was a time when you would go see a Schwarzenegger movie because it's a Schwarzenegger movie. You would go see Stallone because it's a Stallone movie, or Willis, or like Jean-Claude Van Damme. The Rock has never been able to hold that power. Not outside of wrestling fans. So there's a lot of that. That's kind of the other side of that as well. But there is definitely a lot to get to. Yeah, I did. It was funny, actually. Reed here talks about the Lady of the Dunes. Did you ever hear about the Lady of the Dunes? It actually has a tie-in to movies.
Sounds familiar.
So
I don't know.
The Lady of the Dunes is a cold case from 1974, I think, right? And it was a woman who was found dead with her hands and feet like removed, and to prevent identification, essentially. And no one knew who she was. Well, in 2015, Stephen King's son, Joe Hill, read a book about how online sleuths are solving murders. And he was watching Jaws. And then while he was watching Jaws, there's like this crowd scene where you see a woman that looks very similar to the Lady in the Dunes, like wearing the same kind of bandana and shirt that she was reportedly wearing when they found her, or that was nearby. Her clothes were nearby her. And so he put out this idea that like, oh, what if she was an extra in Jaws because they shot that not too far away in 1974? Well, that's not accurate. They actually, using DNA, they were able to finally identify who she was. Now they need to find out who killed her. So that's the next phase of the operation or the investigation. But that just came out the other day. That's really interesting. But that does tie in again to like, one of the biggest movies of all time. Could it harbor, like one of the last images of this murder victim that we know of, right? So it's an interesting little concept. It's kind of like, the old story of, did you ever hear about the Wizard of Oz and the guy who hung himself?
No, I don't know a lot of this stuff, to be honest.
So yeah, this is all urban legend shit, right? This is all urban legend shit. So, it was said that in a shot, I think it was while they were walking into the forest with all like the moving trees and everything else, there's a scene where there's a shot where you can see like a house in the background, And if you look closely, you can see the body of someone hanging like off of this house or
Oh,
something,
okay, yeah. I'm looking up. Like
right?
they say, like it's like a rumor to be a hanging Munchkin, like one of the
It wasn't a
Munchkins hanging
hanging.
themselves.
See, now what I heard is that it was the director's son had killed
Oh,
himself on set, and it somehow made it into the movie. And obviously, that's been something that's been going around like well before the the internet. I heard that when I was a kid. I heard that when I was like 10 from people. It's also like watch Three Men and a Little Lady, and there's a scene where it appears like there's a ghost underneath, behind a white curtain in a scene where I think it's Tom Selleck or Ted Danson, I forget which one, is walking by, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, is that a ghost? Did the movie get a ghost on screen?" It's not that. What it was is it was a cardboard cutout of Ted Danson when he was a kid. Now, why the fuck he has a cardboard cutout of himself when he was a kid, I have literally no idea. And that to me is more perplexing than why there might be a ghost that has popped up in this shot of a movie.
right.
That's basically all it
Well,
boils
what
down
was
to.
that one movie? It was The Fugitive, like that urban legend, like the ghost in The Fugitive, and during the plane crash scene or whatever, or the crash scene.
No,
Or was it,
I never heard
or
that
was it
one.
another Harrison Ford movie? There's like this whole
Well, there's
urban
a
legend about like some kind of ghostly figure during one of the shots in one of those Harrison Ford action movies.
huh.
The
I
Chad,
don't
if you know which one
I
I'm
that one
talking
I've
about, let
never
me
heard.
know.
Yeah, that one I've never heard. So that's a little weird one right there. I mean, you always hear about this kind of stuff,
Yeah,
right? Where
well, I
it's
know about it
like,
because my dad showed me like a video on YouTube, but like they broke it down and like they found like it was like an editing trick or something. Yeah, I think it was The Fugitive, Garrick. I think it was The Fugitive. It's like this, like they were remastering the movie and they found like this weird footage that like they couldn't explain. So
huh. I don't know. I'll tell you this though, right? If you want to go down a really old YouTube rabbit hole, go and check out Marble Hornets. Did you ever see that?
I don't know. I don't think I have no.
All right, so but you know who Slender Man is?
Yes.
All right, so Slender Man, was a meme, but what popularized Slender Man in the YouTube game has a lot to do with Marble Hornets. In fact, the Slender video game, I think, is heavily modeled after Marble Hornets. It was a very weird way of telling a story where like the intro video was literally just a guy driving down the road. It's just him filming the highway and then just telling the story text on screen about how he's a filmmaking student and one of his friends was making a movie called Marble Hornets. And then he got like halfway through the movie and then just like abruptly stopped and hid the footage and then like gave the footage to this friend. And the friend was like going through the footage and kind of telling the story as he's going through the footage. But it's Slender Man and he's called like the operator. And it's really creepy. They tried doing all this ARG stuff. They tried making it this really big thing, and like it ended up becoming
Yeah.
what was the movie? They did a movie. I think it was like Marble Hornet. No, it was no, it wasn't called Slender's Game. That was my fan fiction.
I know the
And
Slender Man movie, the
though
really
there's like
horrible
there's like
one.
there's like a couple of them. There's like the Tall Man, I think, like a Jessica Biel one, or like the Thin Man or whatever that Jessica Biel did that was really bad. And then they did, I think it was like
Yeah. By the way,
uh
I put a link in the private chat. It's a video explaining like The Fugitive. It's from the making of like the 20th anniversary Blu-ray. They talk about like this ghost thing. It's like a minute long. It's actually like I found this on YouTube, like my recommended feed. And, like
yeah,
my
okay,
dad
we'll
showed
give
me
it
it.
a yeah, we'll check it out real
It's
quick.
it's weird. Like I've never heard of this before until I saw it.
Okay. I ended up getting a full worldwide block last night for 40 seconds of that Avatar trailer.
Why is it, I've heard about like the Real Rejects had an issue with the copyright for the trailer. Grace had an issue with it too. I don't know what's going on with that. Like
Yeah,
just that trailer in particular has been weird on YouTube.
it's just because of the music. It's just the music that they used. So the music is licensed for the trailer and that's it. So the repurposing of that trailer is usually what triggers it. It happens in video games all the time. So yeah, Ralph's Double Titzer says, yeah, Marble Hornets did their own Slender movie. They did. Again, I forget what it was called. It was like a Marble Hornets movie or something like that. But the funny thing is the concept of Slender Man is, this like tall, thin guy, right? So like, what actor do you think would be best to play Slender Man?
Doug Jones.
Who played Slender Man? Doug Jones.
Yeah.
So it's like perfect casting, but like I heard the movie is shit. I haven't seen it yet. I should check it out. Should check it out there. All right, Ryan, I see your super chat. We'll get to that here in a second. We're just gonna watch this minute thing real quickly and see just how this ghost thing, yeah.
Oh, there is one thing, and it's not in the DVD. I've seen the movie countless times. When you work on a film, you look at it a lot. And when I was making the transfer for this DVD, this is a brand new transfer with a new process, there is a shot which is not in the DVD because I took it out, but in every other version of the picture, of when Harrison looks up, the train is on top of him, and he looks up like that, and there's an upshot, and there's a man looking in the camera. And I've never seen him before in my life. And he's been there for 7 years now. And when I saw on this big monitor, I said, and he just moved his head ever so slightly. He's wearing a hat.
See him?
Yeah.
And I said, what is that? Where did that come from? Well, we took him out. He's gone in digital. He doesn't live there anymore. He lives somewhere else. He lives in the digital world. But that was a surprise because none of us had ever seen this director, Dennis, the editor. And we were all shocked and quite glad that he's gone away. But
So like I said, in the modern versions, they cut that out, but like there's like the shot of like a mysterious figure who's looking at Harrison Ford and then moves away.
Weird.
And, like,
I wonder.
They can't explain who it was or what happened because they didn't know about it.
Yeah. So that particular shot right there would have been second unit. And that would have been either like a pickup, because it's basically an insert shot, and it would have been a second unit pickup. So the director was like, I don't recognize that, because he probably wasn't there when that particular shot was taken.
I like to think it was a ghost.
I like to think that it was just somebody who was there when they were recording it, who worked on set and probably didn't know they were recording it or thought he was out of the shot or whatever. Because like, that can happen. That happens more often than you think. I mean, remember
That's probably
Mandalorian?
the more logical explanation.
The more logic, yeah. Like, I mean, like, I love the idea of like a ghostly concept, but at the same time, I also prefer to, like, based upon my knowledge of how these things are made. Obviously, these things can happen. I mean, look at the coffee cup.
You had never heard about this before, right? Like,
I'd never heard about that. No, it's definitely creepy. Like, you look at it like, oh yeah, wow. And then when they hold on,
looking at Harrison Ford, and then he moves away.
Well, no, but the thing is, though, he wasn't looking at Harrison Ford. To us, it looks like he's looking at Harrison Ford. Harrison wasn't on the other side of that shot. It's like. Do you remember the ending of Armageddon when Bruce Willis like pushes Ben Affleck into the elevator, and then Ben Affleck's like, hey, right? It was Ben Affleck looking at a tennis ball on a mic stand. That was his point of reference. Bruce Willis was nowhere near that shot. That is how movies are made. They're made piecemeal and then they're put together. So, every movie is like Humpty Dumpty after he fell. And they got to like figure out how to put it all together like a puzzle. That's how the movies are made. So it's very rare that a movie is shot linearly. That was what was I watching the other day? I think it was, I was watching X, and they were talking about shooting the movie linear, in X, because it was a porno. Yeah. Even though they didn't shoot it linear.
I saw, by the way, that you didn't seem like Pearl as much. I'm surprised.
I didn't like, no, well, okay. So I'll say this about Pearl. I didn't dislike Pearl, but I felt it to be largely unnecessary. To me, it didn't do much to make X a better movie. Nor did I think it really did much to explain Pearl's motivations in X, because like I got the motivations. She's psycho. She's wants to be loved and whatever, and to be touched and physically. And her husband wasn't able to do that, and that's one of the things that prompted him. But at the same time, watching Pearl, for one, I will say though that Mia Goth. Did you see Pearl yet? Have you watched it?
I have not seen either of them yet. No.
Oh, okay. There's this like 5-minute scene in Pearl where Mia Goth the camera sits on her for 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. She gives a monologue, and she's crying all the way through it, and it's compelling as all hell. It is literally some of the best acting I've ever seen. It was so good. And then what happens next, you can see it coming a mile away, but it just makes it all the worse. You're like, oh no, but you know it's gonna happen. It just still sucks that it does. And it was really good. Like the last 15 minutes of Pearl were really good. But I do feel that again, it was largely unnecessary. It could have
But
been
as its
45
own
minutes.
movie, though, I mean, did it work as its own movie?
No. It doesn't work as its own movie. It definitely doesn't work. Now, whatever they want to do with Maxine, which is going to be the third movie, whenever they get around to making that, they're going to end up putting whatever. I think we're going to see a bit of a through line between Pearl and Maxine.
But because Maxine's meant to take place in the 80s after X.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, because everyone told me watch X before you watch Pearl. And I'm like, okay, because obviously there's the reveal, but I figured out the reveal even not even knowing what it was. The thing is, the thing I really enjoy about X, I think X is really smartly written, very smartly directed, and I think the editing was really good. In Pearl, it's directed well, it's edited very well. I like the fact that it's the same set as X, but it's just 60 years beforehand.
Well, it's also the way just from watching the trailers, it's Pearl's very bright. It's very
it's meant to be
colorful.
Shot in Technicolor of its time. It's very it's meant to feel like you're watching an old 1930s movie, complete with the way the credits are done and things like that. And that's where that's where I think it's a bit of a confluence of themes where you're watching it and you're like, okay, cool. Pearl's doing this thing. Obviously she's got her own problems. I get all that. And then, but when it gets to the ending, you're just like, okay, okay. It just doesn't, to me, it didn't really feel
so it didn't work as an origin story for that character.
No, because it doesn't, when you get to the thing is when you get to the end of X and you see what happens, which I won't tell you because I thought it was fucking awesome. You're like, okay, you don't really need much of a backstory. And I don't even know if you need much of a following up to that. And I say that because because I just watched the Halloween trilogy and I watched Terrifier 1 and 2. And those are so vastly different in regards to the stories that they want to tell and how they want to tell them. I personally feel X on its own is such an amazing movie. They could have removed the horror aspect of X and just told a relationship drama and it would have been as compelling. But when they get into the violence is really good. So yeah. I think X.
Do you think maybe Pearl might be made better when you see the through line when Maxine comes out?
Yeah. And I think it's also possible that I watched one and then I think I might have just had way too high of expectations for Pearl. Because I loved X. I unequivocally loved X. It's in my top of the year so far. And I think it's just such an amazing movie. And so for me, that's where I'm at with it. And I look at Pearl and I'm like, all right, it's fine, but I don't think I would watch it again.
I mean, I'm more impressed by the fact that they filmed these two movies and the first movie coming out at the beginning of the year and the sequel at the end of the year. That's crazy to me.
Well, they actually, because they shot them, well, if you look up how it was made, which is really interesting, is when Ty West had talked to A24 about doing X, he kind of he had the idea for Pearl and he just kind of pitched it at the same time. Well, I have this other idea and we could do it pretty much simultaneously. And each budget for each of the budgets was $1 million. So they're like, okay, cool, go for it. And they shot it in New Zealand during the pandemic. And the crew that they used were actually the crew from Avatar: The Way of Water, who were already in New Zealand. Yeah, they were already in New Zealand. They were on break from shooting Avatar 2. I think between Avatar 2 and Avatar 3, they were in the break of shooting all that. So they were already prepped to film. They were already quarantined and vaxxed and everything else. And they were willing to work. So he just went off with this crew from Avatar, shot these two movies. And then he edited them and got them out and everything else. So I really respect the hustle. I think, again, like I said, X is unequivocally one of my favorite films of the year. So fucking good. Pearl just missed the mark, I think, because there's really I don't want to say there's no likable character in that movie. The performances are really solid. Mia Goth does an amazing job. Everyone in the movie does an amazing job. There's a lot of interesting themes that kind of overlap, especially with like pornography and the proliferation of pornography, which I kind of feel like was a little again, I don't want to say ham-fisted in regards to like how it was used in Pearl. It makes sense in X, but in Pearl, it's just kind of like there. And I don't really feel like it was used as much social commentary as it was in a way to kind of move like a relationship along. If I, and then again, it's just like the shit with that thing is kind of odd. But there's also not a lot of like the thing with Pearl is there's not a lot of a backstory with the character. It's like, there's so many, like when you watch my review, I ask questions. I'm all like, how old was she in this? Because, there's some people that say like she's in her 70s, like late 70s, mid to late 70s in, fucking whatever it's called, right? Like in X. Yeah. And then in this one takes place, because X takes place in 1979. This one takes place in 1918. So we're in the midst of World War I, and that's like a big part of it, which is interesting. It's a very interesting, because also during the Spanish flu, during a pandemic. Oh,
okay, so it's not World War II, it's World War I.
Yeah, World War I.
Okay, because you would have figured they would have done stereotypical World War II. World War I, I think, is more interesting when you think about it.
Yeah. So, well, here's the thing about Maxine is Maxine may come out next year. Mia Goth just had a kid. And so they
so they haven't filmed Maxine yet.
They haven't filmed Maxine yet.
They only filmed Pearl and X.
Yeah. So they haven't filmed Maxine. So they're still working on that. She's got to, obviously go through the process of it. And here's the thing: is will if they, will I buy a box set of this? Like, yeah, because I want to support the indie cinema side of it. I feel like just what they were able to accomplish with reusing.
Well, especially an original horror trilogy too.
Well, yeah, no, like it's kind of like even like how I like Terrifier, like Terrifier, like I really enjoy like elements of both movies. You know what I mean? Even if like the plot for number 2 just goes completely off the fucking rails, but you're like, okay, fine. But they're like, I'm really appreciative of like lower budget horror movies.
I was talking about that last night. Terrifier 2 being submitted for the Oscars.
I can't do that. Yeah, Ryan here says, when something is overhyped, it can ruin your expectations. Yeah, it'd be like, I'm trying to think of another example. Okay, imagine you watch, this is going to sound so crazy, but imagine it's 2003 and The Matrix Reloaded is coming out. And you've heard nothing but good things about The Matrix. You've never seen it. So right before Reloaded comes out, you go and you get a copy of The Matrix. You watch it for the first time. Mind blown, right? Because The Matrix is just like, it's such a good fucking movie. It's cinema. It's peak cinema for the 90s at least. Then you go and you watch Matrix Reloaded right after. Your expectations are literally through the roof. And then you go and you watch Matrix Reloaded, albeit a functional movie, a fine movie. But when you come off of the high that is The Matrix and you go right into the sequels, you're a little let down, so it might take a little bit of time to go back and like get into the vibe again. Now, do I feel like I need to watch Pearl again? No, but will I watch Pearl again? Yeah. Like when Maxine comes out, I'll watch through them again. Cause I do find it to be compelling enough to want to go back to it, to want to spend more time in this world with these characters. The same with Terrifier. Like actually, like again, same concept of Terrifier. We're going into Terrifier. I wasn't too sure what to think about it. I think Art is one of the better, movie monsters we've gotten in a long time. And it's such a weird thing. You've no idea what's going on with it, but it's so oddly compelling. And you just kind of want to spend more time in this world to fully understand the landscape being presented to you. And that's what I'm really enjoying about some of these films. Like I still need to watch Barbarian and VHS 99. I know Ralph Stubble-Tits have been on my ass about that one. But it's like these movies are just, to me, these are now way more fun to watch and talk about than even like these big budget movies. Cause like, look, here's the thing with Black Adam. I'll just say this and we can move on. But it's like with Black Adam, how is it that you have this $200 million origin movie where your lead character is the least interesting person in that entire movie? That to me is the biggest fundamental problem with a lot of big budget storytelling, is that movies now have such a they put more of a reliance on the spectacle rather than the substance. And it's like with Black Adam, I do think that there was an interesting story that could have been in there. I was actually asked this today. Someone asked me on Twitter, they're like, "Hey, like how would you fix Black Adam?" And I'm all like, "Well, here's how what I said was I think Intergang should have gone to Kahndaq and looking for to bring back Sabak. That should have been their goal. And then they release Sabak, who is now, the Kahndakians are just like, oh wow, our savior has returned. Oh shit, no, it's Satan. Holy fuck, we're dead. So he's rampaging, doing his thing. JSA comes on in, they can't fight him. But then they go, we've heard a myth, we've heard a rumor, we've heard a story that there is a savior, that there really is a champion of Kahndaq, and we need to find him. And then the movie is actually the mission of bringing Black Adam back, because they've heard the rumor, they've heard the myth, and they got to find him. And then they find him, and then he fights Sabak, defeats Sabak. And then from there is all like, well, now I'm just going to rule over this shit myself. And then in the next movie, with the same and cameo sequence, right? Within the next movie, he's now like, he will be humbled in the next movie. But for right now, for the Black Adam movie, you use him as the weapon he's intended for. But that was the biggest problem, is that would require The Rock to only be in the movie for roughly the last half, if that, but you can't do that when you have Dwayne The Rock Johnson right there, and you want him to be.
I don't know. Like, I feel like, I think it's fine to have him be throughout the movie, honestly. I just maybe would have been like, you see him through the lens of like the JSA maybe, versus you see the JSA through his lens. I still have not seen the movie, by the way, which I don't care. It's fine. I already know everything about it. But it's just funny. Like, I don't know. Like, this whole Black Adam thing is really interesting, because like, I'm not sure what really to blame for it, because it's not a complete failure. It's just, it's not going to make like a huge amount of profit.
It's not now, but again, that's what we got towards the end of everything. But really, it is a situation where, when like, I don't want the movie to fail. I've been critical of it. I mean, I made this just like, fuck it, I'll just troll people and everything else. I want to see what they're gonna do with it next, but I do think that there's trouble in paradise, RJ. I really, really, really do. I feel whatever Dwayne had planned is now entirely gone.
I mean, well, I don't know. Do you want to get to it now? Or you want to save it for later?
Let me. You know what? We'll get to it now. And then I'll just go through and find my slides. Okay, there. We'll start with that. I won't bury the lead as badly this time. It's 40 minutes in. So obviously this is my first image of it here. So this is what we know about. I didn't get another screenshot, but today. David Zaslav had the earnings call, which I have other things I want to talk about in regards to that. So that's other slides. But he says that he considers Black Adam a successful venture for the brand, saying that Black Adam, House of the Dragon, and Elvis are examples of content that helped increase the company's brand recognition and are considered hits. Well, I mean...
Yeah, so internally, they do think this movie was a success, which is what's most important, obviously, to them, is that, hey, they think it's a success. So...
Yeah. There's no image. I didn't add it into my PowerPoint, so I couldn't find it. I was trying to find it, and then I found it literally right as I was already going, and I'm like, God damn it. But anyway, like the Rock plans are going. Rock plans are going anywhere.
I think you meant to say they aren't going anywhere.
No, they absolutely are. He's not going to be able to command couple reasons why. So yeah, they can consider Black Adam a success for brand awareness or brand recognition or brand revitalism.
And I told you this, right? Because we DM'd a little bit in our DM group. Here's the thing. What I said was, I think the reason they're calling this a success is because to them, this movie revitalized their core DC audience. This movie reinvigorated the excitement around the brand. It got people talking. And it's going to hopefully create some kind of forward momentum because they got Superman back. That's their hope. So now when we go into 2023, when we have Shazam, just tied into this movie, We have the Flash, which is going to be like the reset of everything to where they need it to be.
Yeah.
So forth. They can really start building forward momentum and get people excited about DC again. So
Well,
for
see,
them,
here's the problem with that,
important
though.
for revitalizing with their
Sure.
core audience.
Sure. I think it's a bit short-sighted to say that, if I'm being honest. Not to you specifically, but just to that concept. Because if you think about it, right, like it's, again, you have to contend with a number of problems. One is obviously the lack of Superman in the last 5 years. Now, obviously, I would argue that the Snyder Cut definitely, I would say the Snyder Cut did more to revitalize the brand recognition than Black Adam did.
Oh, no.
But they don't want to admit that.
Right. I'm just saying, I think when they're talking about it, they're saying the Black Adam movie was successful with our hardcore DC audience. Now we need to focus on, and this is why I think James Gunn and Peter's having a lot of work cut out for them.
Yeah.
Okay, you got your hardcore DC movie fans excited again. They're excited. They want to see what you do next.
And I hope that really translates to Shazam.
Right, I agree. But now the question is, how do you get the general audience on board again? That's the main task.
And that's the thing. And that is going to require Henry Cavill to put aside his own ego and do some of these cameos. Because they're going to have to reintroduce him in compelling ways. And right. I don't just mean Man of Steel.
And we know for sure, like, basically, pretty much we got an idea that when he filmed Black Adam, he filmed something for Flash too. So
that's the idea. Yeah,
more movies. So the hope is that because he talked about, I'm going to meet with James Gunn soon, and I'm excited to talk to him. Hopefully, when James Gunn and Peter Safran looking on this, we're like, okay, how do we map this out? How do we get people to really care about the movies that are already on our slate for next year, and then get them excited for what's next?
I really think what they have to do is they have to make a very hard choice. And that hard choice is convincing Zack Snyder to say that it's over. I mean that. I do mean that.
Whoa, drop the mic into the chimes. Where's this coming from?
Well, because they have a very vocal online contingent of people that are like people that are already calling Henry Cavill a traitor for coming back without Zack Snyder. And there's already a lot of that's been said. So there's already, once again, you have a lot of infighting in social media of the diehard Snyder stands that we know are vocal, that we know are vicious, that we know are toxic.
So basically, you're saying that James Gunn and Peter Safran need to put an end to the online discourse in a way. Like
yes,
shut it down
they need to come out with a show of force. And I mean a legitimate shock and awe campaign. And I mean this, like not what David Zaslav was saying that they're going to do with this $30 billion a year spending, which clearly is bullshit. But this actual shock and awe campaign that this is exactly what James Gunn will have learned from fucking Kevin Feige. It's like, look, you come out, you set the agenda, you set the release dates, you give people a bit of information, and you let them go wild with their own hype and speculation because they know what's coming. Not the speculation of, what may be coming, but they know exactly what's coming and roughly when it's coming. And that gives them something that they can then put on their calendar or get excited for internally. And they start getting, you have to give them something to look forward to. Just having like an open-ended release date doesn't really do anything.
Let me ask you just two things real quick. One, so do you expect them to acknowledge, like on social media, the haircut campaign happening November 5th?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think they're going to acknowledge it. It's going to happen. I'm going to tweet about it because I want to see it.
Do you think they even greenlight that?
No, I don't.
No, okay.
I don't. And again, it all boils down to Margot Robbie and James Gunn's hatred of Jared Leto. So Margot Robbie, again, she was the only one who was like really not gung-ho for the Ayer cut at the Suicide Squad premiere last year when they were asking everybody and everyone's like, oh, hell yeah, I want to see it, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, there's lots of cuts that are out there, a diplomatic answer. But then you go back and you look at what, she had talked about with the method acting and things like that with the way Jared Leto had acted. And he has said that a lot of it's been blown out of proportion. But when you start to think about it, it's like still that might have been, he might believe it was blown out of proportion. That might have been traumatic to her because at that time, Margot Robbie had only she was in Wolf of Wall Street. She was in Focus. She was in a couple of smaller things, but this was her first real
first like big blockbuster,
big Hollywood movie, and it propelled her. It really propelled her because there was a lot of Harley Quinn love. That's why that movie did as well as it did. And a lot of the demographic
as well, I would say too.
Will Smith was not the number one. It was Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn.
He was a good assist.
Oh no, he was great. I love their chemistry in the movie. They were fantastic. And I would love it if they did a Harley Deadshot movie. I'd be there day one. Heartbeat, you know what I'm saying?
The reason I ask is because there's a commenter in the earnings call where Zaslav said, like, we have unreleased content that could bring us money or something to that effect. I had to go back and look. Like, I saw there was a comment that he made.
Yeah, if you can find, because it's been hard. I haven't really found a lot of info talking about that today. Rational here says, Margot Robbie says she supports the Ayer cut. She supports multiple cuts of the movie. And then she says that she oftentimes doesn't see the cuts of the film until after the general audience does because she's so busy. So she has not come out and said that she supports.
The other thing I want to ask you too, and I mean, I'm legit curious what you think. I understand what you're saying about how they need to come out and like just make a definitive. Like, I agree. I think they should at least come out and say, what are we doing, Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck? Are they coming back full time or not? Just answer that question first.
Oh yeah, that would be number one. They have to answer,
right.
and I think James Gunn is like already aware that they have to.
Like, you have to make a decision. Like, who's your Batman? Who's your Superman? What are we doing?
True.
What's going on, Michael Keaton? That too. But here's my honest question for you. Do you think that, like, I'm not saying James Gunn personally, but I'm saying, like, overall as a company and as a brand, do you really think that they want to invoke the fervor and the discourse and the problems and just the overall, the wrath of Snyder fandom? Like, do they?
No, I think they know. They know what comes from it, and this is the thing. This is not like a new.
Because honestly, I think they're a little bit scared that if they come out and say it's over, that they're going to lose that audience completely, and they don't want to lose like what they consider to be maybe like their hardcore DC fans.
I mean, I think again, a lot of people out there are, they'll show up if it's decent. I don't think it really matters as much, to be honest with you, because I don't believe there's that kind of brand loyalty on a widespread scale. I think you have the contingent of Snyder fans that are deathly loyal to him. But, and I think like there's been enough press about Zack Snyder that it definitely does bolster more of a positive influence on his name within the company. But I think at the same time, their internal analytics, they know exactly what these fuckers are capable of. They know exactly what kind of bullshit to expect. And they know generally what they need to do, which is no longer ignore it. That's my take. They need to no longer ignore it. Come on out and just say, for right now, or they can just say, for right now, Zack Snyder is not coming back. We have no plans on working with Zack Snyder. We have no plans on building out the Snyderverse.
We wish him well what he's doing.
We wish him well at Netflix, and Rebel Moon looks amazing. Can't wait to watch it, sort of thing. Right? Or like all James Gunn has got to be like, dude, I love Army of the Dead. I can't wait for Planet of the Dead. Rebel Moon looks awesome, but right now Zack isn't coming back. And that's going to be another factor. But let me tell you what I feel the real problem is going to be. And this kind of takes it back into what we were talking about, and that is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So if Dwayne can take the credit for bringing back Henry Cavill,
which I do believe he was a big part of.
I do. I agree. I think him and Danny Garcia, I think they finally were able to make it work, and they were able to, basically what they did is they offered up, they basically ended Henry's previous contract. That's basically what they did, right? He did his last cameo was what he did for Black Adam and maybe Shazam or maybe the Flash, whatever that might be.
Do you think that they knew James Gunn and Peter Safran were in talks at all and worked something with them too?
No, no, because they couldn't have done anything until 2 days ago, right? So that whole deal was with Mike DeLuca, is what that deal was,
and probably Zaslav himself.
And Zaslav and Hamada definitely had knowledge about it, but he was powerless to do it, to stop it. Really,
well,
he tried. He tried.
First time he said no.
That's what we heard. Yeah, that's what we heard. But again, and it kind of like makes sense as to why to say no. People are like, oh, he wants to shut down Cavill. It's like, if it's like a 5-second cameo, it's like, You know, it's like, what's the benefit to the company? What's the benefit to the brand? He's got a lot of other things to worry about.
It helps this movie though. It helps the brand overall. If you say, "Hey,
yeah, I'm
Superman's
sure.
still around."
I think you want to know the biggest thing with that, RJ? I think if they would have blocked everyone's cell phones from being at that premiere, and they would have made sure no one had their cell phones on them.
Oh, like they would have taken them all away.
They would have taken them all away, and then we would have known. But at that night, we would have known Cavill would have been back, confirmed, which we all knew was going to be confirmed, but we wouldn't have seen it. And I think with people not having seen it, they would have gone to the theater.
They would have described it to us online, but we would.
Yeah, it would have been described, but that's still not as good as seeing it yourself. Whereas, like, we were live that night, and that clip was already around.
Full HD video of it.
Yeah, and you're like, all right, like I've already seen it. It's kind of like the end credit scene to Morbius. All right, I've already seen it, but this is actually good. Like the end credit to Morbius.
Well, Spherical Man, like Shazam 2, I understand what you're saying, but that movie already has like another cameo. It's pretty big, so it doesn't really need Superman.
Is that the Wonder Woman one?
Yeah, Wonder Woman's got a pretty meaty role in that movie, at least in the third act, which is like the big thing.
And then and then there's somebody else.
As far as I'm aware, no. I mean, Dana Sandberg said the movie's already finished, so I would assume it's just gonna be Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I mean, we saw she posted some pictures on her Instagram from like August of last year.
Yeah, she filmed. I think she filmed stuff for both Shazam 2 and The Flash, but I think her role is bigger in Shazam 2. So
yeah. Well, here's the thing. So Mr. Freeze here says The Rock absolutely deserves credit for bringing him back. Yeah, here's the thing. I'll grant you that. But the problem with that, though, is now that doesn't mean shit. Let me explain why that doesn't mean shit in the long run, at least in a good way. Okay. So The Rock, okay, if Black Adam would have been the success that they wanted it to be, and we were talking, like $600 million, 700, some people were saying like 750. I think
I was really hoping we would get a 7 in front of it, like at least 600. But now it might be like 400.
Yeah, well, and let's go into that real quick here, because according to Neb's good takes here, he points this out to
good guy, by the way. Neb's a good guy.
Posts a lot of anti-Joe Biden stuff, a little chuddy at times, whatever.
No. It's memes though. It's memes.
Oh, it's all memes. Like there was a guy today that I agreed with. I hate this. I tweeted out something that was ridiculous, and then like someone else tweeted the exact same thing. I'm like, oh great. I click on his profile, and it's all just like retweeting like Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker and Geeks and Gamers. I'm like, no. Anyway, so he says here, so allegedly Black Adam has been banned in China, the country that Warner Brothers hoped would carry its box office numbers like Aquaman, because Pierce Brosnan supported the Dalai Lama in an interview. So Chinese Marvel fans took the chance to complain and stopped it from being released. Now, that seems I don't want to say far-fetched, because it could have happened, but it seems a little bit odd that I was like, I mean, remember when John Cena had talked about Taiwan being an independent nation, and then like had to come out and like absolutely cuck himself in Chinese to the Chinese audience for Fast and Furious 9. Like, oh no, I believe in the one China policy. I believe in the one, all this shit, right? It was super bad. If Pierce Brosnan supported the Dalai Lama by like wearing something related to him, then you know what, man, like they would come out and they'd say something about that shit. You know what I mean? Like there would be some way to kind of make it work. Why does China not like the person, not like the Dalai Lama? That's way too complicated to dive into right now. I would just say Google it.
It's a very long explanation as to why. It goes into a lot of geopolitics stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of things. Let's see. JP says if they understand China politics, government will conduct these hate comments online. Probably. Let's see. Martian here says, do Chinese people eat Chinese? I mean, they just eat food. And no, they don't get fortune cookies. That is an entirely Western concept.
So I just want to add some context to this for a little bit. So you talked about this earlier at the top of the show. Basically, what's going on is, if this post is correct, Marvel fans in China are so angry that they've been denied access to Marvel movies for the last 3 years that when a DC movie was coming out in their home country, they actively worked to sabotage its release just as an FU to DC. That's basically what's happening, which is absolutely fucking insane.
That's it. I don't know how much of that I truly believe.
I know it's kind of absurd, but I can sort of believe it because all he had to do is complain about Pierce, like they just had to look up Pierce Brosnan's history with like something that the Chinese government hates. There you go. So Marvel fanboys in China shut down Black Adam's box office. That is kind of crazy to think about if true.
Well, so I'll bring this up real quick here because I don't have the screenshot for it. But so looking at this is Black Adam's Wikipedia, and you can see here that it says it was given a July 2020 July 29th release date, moved to October. Okay, the film is scheduled to release in China on November 11th, 2022. So this isn't
that
wiki.
was never confirmed though.
This is just, whoa, check this out. So I'm like, okay, so this is what they say here, and this is supposed to be verified. This is the thing, like, you know, like Wikipedia ain't perfect. The key is to always follow the sources. So look, I click on this here. We see this down here. It's 112. Here's 112. What is this? Look at this. There's nothing here, right?
What?
Yeah. It's a blank one.
What is it linked to?
It links to a website called desimartini.com. All right. So Dwayne Johnson's
Never heard of
DC,
this website.
yeah, by some guy named Achu Krishnan. And I've noticed, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've noticed on certain like fan run blogs, like Fandom Wire and like a lot of these other ones, it's a lot of Hindu writers, right? Or like very like, you know, East Asian writers. Like, and I'm like, is there like a market out there? Like, I mean, Bollywood is like a huge fucking market.
Well, I think it's just it's just the group of people who are interested in covering this stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so all right, the fact here. Okay, so here's the thing. It says here the fact that DC has managed to secure a Chinese release date for the movie, something no Marvel movie in Phase 4 has been able to do, is big news. All right, so it just says here the movie is expected to hit China on November 11th. And
that's it.
That's fucking it, dude.
Okay, so I saw that there's a Chinese poster floating around, but somebody said that it came from a Snyder account that made it as like a fan made poster.
Well, that's also what Grace Randolph reported too. She talked about that.
Yeah, I heard like that's why, because she said that, and I'm like, but I thought that was a real poster. But nobody can verify whether or not that was a real Chinese poster or not. And I don't understand.
Yeah, well, even here, what do we got? We got let me bring this up here. Comicbookmovie.com says here that it secured a Chinese theatrical release date. All right, so I'm looking for a source here. Okay, it just says, again, look at this here. Black Adam has done something Marvel's Phase 4 has not been able to do over the past couple of years by landing a release date in the Middle Kingdom. It's kind of funny how we were just reading that, almost that exact same passage. On the other one, right?
They probably copied it from Comic Movie.
Most likely. See, here's this poster. All right. So
it's not popping up on the screen for some reason.
What?
Yeah, it's like frozen at like the Comic Movie splash. Like
all right, hold on. I'll bring it back up there. God damn it, son of a! I don't know what's going on.
It happens. Right. Sometimes it locks up like that.
You know, I might have also been on the. That's right. I was on the other one. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I sometimes if I have to copy and paste into a different window.
Just wrong tab. Yeah.
It's just wrong tab. Yeah. I've done that before. Anyway.
Well, Rash was saying this picture was from Taiwan, not China.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know the language, so it's kind of.
But also, look here. The image, if we can bring it up in a new tab.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah.
Do you happen to notice the watermark right there?
I zoomed in because I can do that on my computer. There's a watermark.
So the watermark is at Tower. Hold on, let me see if I can.
Tauru Aldebaran.
It looks like Aldebaran. Tauru. I'll Google that. Tauru. All right. Alder.
It was the first hit result for me.
Okay, what did you find on this guy?
I'm sharing my screen right now.
Oh, okay.
This is a Twitter account.
All right.
It's a Snyder fan who does, I guess, like fan edits and artwork. Did a post for JusticeCon. So this guy might just be a fan edit guy. Showing some concept art from the movie.
Wait, who's that? Who's the blonde there?
Oh, it's Tegan Croft.
Don't know who that is, but
She's Raven on Titans. Yeah, this is just they're sharing concept art. So here's the thing: their pin post is an edit of this poster. So I'm gonna try and find the Black Adam thing, I guess, but I don't know if this is like an edit that they did, or if this is like them like finding the poster and like putting their watermark on it because they got the exclusive on it.
I guess
no. I'm gonna look and see.
Yeah, so I mean, either way, there's no confirmation on anyone, on any of this stuff that is saying, that we just know of anything. I'm just saying it just seems so weird to me. Let me see, Black.
Oh, now I know what it is.
What is it?
It's not even a poster.
It's
got
not?
it right here. It's a magazine cover for a magazine in China called World Screen. So it's not a poster. It's just a magazine cover for Chinese cinemas. Like it's like their equivalent of like, I don't know, like Total Film or something, I guess. Like, so it's called World Screen Magazine. And this is the Chinese cover for that magazine, World Screen Magazine.
Jesus Christ.
So it's not a poster with the release date.
Rational has sent me another one, another poster that he says is a Chinese poster. But then again, like I'm sorry, buddy, but you've posted other shit in the past. But this is this one here, and let's see here, reverse image search. All right, hey, okay, we're gonna look this up here to see whether or not, okay, I'll do a reverse image search on this poster to see if it's a thing. All right, so let me bring it up here on my screen. All right, so this is 145 results. This particular post here, this image of this. So it looks like it's. See if we can try to find something.
Well, it's all the same poster. It's just they changed the logo for depending on the region. So.
Yeah. But we're trying to find like where it might have popped up to give us an idea, because it could have also just be a fan made poster as well. That's the thing. Because if this was the official Chinese poster, it would be in a lot of other places. So I do not know. Let's see. Maybe. Yeah, let me try something else real quick. But either way, so we've kind of disproven the narrative.
Well, here's the thing. I think the movie was intended to release in China, given the magazine cover, but it never happened. So, I don't know.
Yeah, something clearly stopped it from...
So that post that Neb made of that forum might actually be accurate then.
I mean, maybe. But it's like, do we know which poster it is? I mean, do we know like where it came from?
I don't know.
I mean, that's a question, man, right? Like, we don't know what's going on with that. Let me see if I can find. I want to try to find. Okay, if I Google Black Adam Chinese poster. All right, the first one we looked at pops up. The one that Rational sent me. Okay, Black Adam News on Twitter had talked about it. It said here that, okay, so this is so Black Adam News tweeted about this. And, but he had said that it will be released in China, but no release date. However, he has since deleted that particular post.
So maybe like it never got a release date then.
Yeah. So and all of the box office accounts that I follow, no one has really talked about it. No one has really, talked about the international stuff with Black Adam. They've just been talking about how it's just been kind of like dwindling and everything, which happens in movies. But yeah, I mean, I can't find anything on Google image search that has that same poster we just looked at with that particular, with those particular characters in it. So at this point, we can generally We can
I
generally.
think it's safe to assume it's probably not getting a Chinese release date.
I think it's safe to assume that people were very much trying to play the game and trying to make it out to be something that maybe it just, it just wasn't. Which is god damn it, right? God damn it. Anyway, now Nerdy Mastermind here says next topic, if it's not coming from THR Hollywood Reporter or Variety, is nonsense. That's not always true, but that is a good kind of rule.
It's a good rule of thumb to have. I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes other places do get a
it
story
really
first,
is.
though.
Yeah, it really is. There's a lot going on. Clearly the hold on, Citrine U here says check the Warner Brothers Chinese social media accounts.
I don't
Can
think I
I?
have I mean, you could
Yeah, let's
try.
see
Like,
here.
what's it like?
Warner
this
Brothers
Weibo?
China. Yeah, social media. I don't have access to Weibo. So, if anyone here has access to Weibo, I don't. I have no freaking idea how to look that up there. But we would have heard something about this. We would have absolutely heard something about this particular situation. But all right, why don't we dive back into the rest of the stuff I had planned for the remainder of everything, because we've got this this popped up today as well. Netflix finally released their new restructured tier for
They
price.
did, but did you see the caveat to it?
Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. So it says here, Netflix ad-supported tier will be launching today at 9 a.m. for $6.99 a month. But here's what you get for $7 a month. You get 720p. And you can watch on your laptop, your phone, your TV, or your tablet. It's hold on one second. My daughter's.
No worries.
Sorry,
Yeah,
she's like,
720p.
she should be asleep,
Like,
but-
ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, she's like, I'm like, she was asleep. She woke up. She's like, Daddy, I'm hungry. I'm like, I'm afraid to give you food if you vomit. Anyway, but yeah, you get the basic for $10 a month. Again, 720p. The only thing that you get is like, you can download it and you don't get any ads. The idea about them doing 720p in this day and age is really ridiculous. But the thing is, though, man, is that when you watch on your mobile device, like your phone or your tablet, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, you can notice the difference. I mean, like, if you're like 4K or like 1080p, like, there's like, it's not too big of a bad. I mean, it's fine. It works what you got to do. The no download sucks, though. Obviously, makes sense though.
Well, I mean, again, only if you're gonna do that there. Let's see here. According to back on the Black Adam thing. According to Rational, he sent me a thing here saying that here's movies that are playing. It's playing right now in China, but tickets are like $130. What?
I'm looking at this website too. It makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about here.
I mean, it might be a legit web. I don't know. I
can't even tell you, right? It's like
this is Hong Kong though, I think, because it says
Hong Kong. Hong Kong is not China, dude.
Yeah,
like I should say Hong Kong. Yeah,
HK.
Yeah. Hong Kong is like
HK stands for Hong Kong, so
yeah, Hong Kong. I mean, don't get me wrong. Hong Kong is like it is part of China, but it's also like it's not mainland China. Is what I'm trying to say. So if they're showing it in Hong Kong, that's not China. That's Hong Kong theaters is not China. There's a difference there. There we go. Okay, we got Caden joining. What's up, buddy?
What's up? Yeah, Hong Kong isn't. I mean, technically, if like,
it's hard to say.
It's recently quote unquote China, but before it was like.
Well, Caden, have you heard anything about the Black Adam situation in China?
No, I just heard about it today too. I'm surprised, honestly.
Well, the Batman ended up going there.
Yeah, but
so I mean, it took a little bit of time. It took a little bit of time,
the
but
issues that even the movies going to China are not doing very well. So the Batman did go to China, but didn't get like a big.
But that's the whole point. Is like
Sorry.
they're restructuring the way that they've restructured everything for the
Yeah.
country.
I mean, but then on today's earnings call, Zaza was like, "This is a major success for us." I'm like, "What the heck?" Just now hit 250 or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it just
Yeah,
now
I was
made its
gonna
budget
ask,
back.
what's Black Adam's worldwide total right now?
I looked at it just now. Yeah, it's like 256.
Yeah.
Wait, it's at what?
256.
How much did Shazam make?
Shazam worldwide did 366.
So it's
Yeah.
still behind Shazam?
It should behind Shazam after 2 weeks. I mean,
By
there's a
100
high
million?
likelihood. There's a high likelihood that it will end up probably beating Shazam's
You'll beat
Or making
Shazam.
about
worldwide
the
total.
same.
Huh?
Oh.
But again,
Yeah,
who knows?
because it's
what's
like
gonna
at
happen.
100. If he gets 110 more million, then yeah, it beats Shazam.
I
don't know.
have so
feel
much
like-
trouble
I feel
seeing
like,
100.
I feel like it's slowing down a little bit. I don't know.
This weekend will be interesting to see what the predictions
It
are.
will
or
be
what it pops
interesting
up
to
with.
see this
Yeah.
weekend.
But anyway, what Netflix is, I just don't see this.
I
as being
don't
a
understand
sustainable
this
thing.
at all. I don't understand the system at all. I don't.
Well, because they just want to put you on the standard plan of 15. I
Well, the
dropped
thing-
mine
no,
down
but, like-
to the standard.
But the thing is that Netflix was the alternative to cable television. Now, basic with ads is basically cable television.
Well, I mean, no, not really. It isn't. It's like Hulu with ads. That's not cable television. That's just like watching shit and you have ad breaks. It sucks. So people will pay the extra. I pay for fucking Hulu without
Well,
ads,
I-
and
I-
all I
I-
watch on there is like Bob's Burgers.
I think the ads is like whatever. I think the bigger issue is that if you get this basic with ads plan, you don't get most of the content on Netflix. There's a lot
Well,
of stuff that's
well
like
the thing
blocked
is
off
that
to
you
Yeah,
don't
that's
get
true.
downloads, but everything else you get.
I mean,
know,
all I can say
basic-
to that is piracy is going to go up. So
Yeah, I honestly standard would be fine. Standard premium.
If I remember, I pay for premium. I think so.
I don't know what.
well, what was it? I
that-
pay for standard, I pay for the standard stuff. And I was watching. What was I watching? I was watching Extraction a few months ago, and I watched it on my Samsung, which I thought it was going to be at least in 1080p. That copy was 720. They were showing it like it looked like shit. It was 720, and I'm like, what's up with this resolution? Why is it so bad?
Yeah,
And
that's why I got the premium because I really wanted all of that stuff in 4K.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
so-
the problem with 4K
Oh,
though is that it's like, it's not as good as you. It really isn't. We're not there yet for the 4K stuff.
Yeah.
It's just it's way too bandwidth heavy. I'll give you an example. Generally speaking, the general rule of thumb is if you're going to watch like a 2-hour long movie in 1080p, you're looking at about a data usage of roughly about 1,500 megabytes, right?
Mm.
For 1080p. If you watch a 4K UHD movie, same movie, you're looking at 15 gigabytes of data transfer. And you don't get that much of a visual difference in many instances because a lot of people don't have the capability with their broadband because again, a lot of people still end up using DSL, and our broadband, comparatively speaking, is like to the rest of the world is shit. Our broadband is bad. Like Xfinity just messaged me the other day and they're like, hey, we just increased your download speeds. And I'm all like, can you lower the fucking price?
Right. So no, I agree. Like, listen, I recently upgraded to AT&T fiber optic internet. It's awesome. A lot of people don't get that option for like fiber optic. Like fiber optic is going to be the future, obviously, but
Yeah.
not a lot of
Well,
people
I live
have
in the
option.
state capital and I thought, hey, we're going to have they're going to probably have fiber here first. It'll be like Seattle, then Olympia. And, but I live so remote. It's just like
I know.
fibers take forever to get there. So, Donovan here says God of War is a masterpiece, man. I don't have a PS5, so I can't play it. Well, I mean, I have a
And I'm
PS4,
broke,
but
so I can't get the game right now.
yeah, I'm okay. I've been playing. Was it Ghost
Boo-hoo,
Recon Wildlands
RJ.
is on Game Pass. I've been playing through Ghost Recon Wildlands. That game.
How do you play that game already? We talked about this like a year ago. Like,
Yeah,
you
no, I
it
played
yet?
Breakpoint. I played Breakpoint, and then
Oh,
they've
okay.
got Wildlands, which is a much better game story wise. I just wish it had like the fundamentals of Breakpoint has better mechanics. Anyway, moving on here, we found out that the Stargate co-creator says the reboot series will probably never see the light of day. Have you guys been following this at all? If you happen to be,
I remember we were talking about this like a couple months ago or something.
Well, what it was is Amazon. So what was it? MGM owns Stargate, and there's been a lot of like Stargate fans are like, bring on new Stargate, bring on new Stargate.
Weren't we just talking about like something about Stargate like a couple months ago?
No,
Yeah, because
that was the Battlestar Galactica
there's also a lot of Stargate fans that have been pushing for more.
Yeah,
and the co-creator said, like, because they thought now that Amazon owns it, that Amazon would want to revive Stargate. Like they have all these IPs, and the Expanse is over and things like that. So like, why not focus on something like that Stargate? Because that could bring in people. I mean, look, if you think about it, like a lot of the shows on Amazon that do well are shows that are aimed for like an older audience. Reacher, the Terminal List, Rings of Power. I mean, like in many ways, those kind of shows are like aimed for a slightly older demographic. They're not like, your young Zoomers type people. It is like that.
Are you heartbroken this reboot's never gonna happen?
I mean, like, dude, I really love Stargate SG-1. Like I do. I love Stargate the movie. I really enjoy the franchise. I feel like it can probably I never really got into Atlantis and Universe and some of the other shit they worked on.
I feel like it's okay if this doesn't happen, to be honest. I'm okay.
It's the end of the world, guys. This is not happening, so it's the end of the world.
But
guys.
it's kind of like what they should do is just find a way to get SG-1 in front of more people. By the way, the guy on the left there, that's fucking Kratos from God of War.
That's Christopher Judge.
Yeah, so if you want to and then you got Christopher Judge and Richard Dean Anderson, man, like hell yeah.
Didn't Stargate Atlantis have Jules straight from Firefly and also Jason Momoa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they did. And also awesome. Robert Carlyle was in Universe. So, they got I mean, I'm just saying they should definitely Vince here says that Universe is way too much of a soap opera. Basically. But here's the thing, Mr. Freeze asks, what's the Stargate? Go find the 1995 movie. It's got Kurt Russell, James Spader. Good movie. Fuck you. No, fuck you.
The movie is whatever. Go watch the shows.
No, the show. No. You have to watch.
You have to watch the movie.
You have to watch the movie to watch the show. No, the movie is good. The movie is good.
It's not good, but it's a good foundation piece.
It's just like 20 seconds of.
94 is like 94. Sorry.
It's just 20 seconds of Jarbo saying "fuck you" to RJ.
I know it's gonna get clipped out.
There we go. Rational. Fuck off, RJ. Stargate 94 is amazing. There you go.
I'm not. That's whatever.
Yeah, it's like God. That's a bad. The next thing you're gonna tell me, fucking like Frozen's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
It's not a good movie.
It's a great movie, actually.
McLeod here says, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to say fuck you as well, RJ." One's in the chats for fuck RJ. One's in the chats. We got 124 people watching right now.
I'm sorry, but Stargate's over. Movies overhyped. The series are better.
No, it's not overhyped. It's not overhyped, dude.
It's not one of his best movies. That's for sure.
It's not one of his worst movies.
It's not one of his best movies either. It's like right.
What is the best Roland Emmerich movie?
Shit. Put him on the spot. I think Independence Day is definitely one of them, at least in the top for conversation.
Okay. All right.
His worst is probably Moonfall and Godzilla. Those are both horrible.
No, I would argue Moonfall, in my opinion, is probably his worst.
The Patriot, I think, is also one of Roland Emmerich's best movies.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say worst. I was gonna be like, "Fuck you."
No. The Patriot's probably if you ask me personally, I think The Patriot's his best movie, followed by Independence Day.
The fact that The Patriot is a movie about the American Revolution, directed by a German and starring two Aussies, is really funny.
Thank you, William. Stargate 1994 is overrated. Thank you.
The boomer.
Boomer's on my side.
Boomer.
I know I'm doing something right.
Well, he's more than the boomer. He's ancient. So if the ancient one is agreeing with,
I'll hail the ancient one. Is that where we are now?
No, we're not hailing the ancient one. No, no,
You know,
sir.
okay, look, here's the thing. It's like, as far as Roland Emmerich movies go, yes, Independence Day, The Patriot,
Those are the two.
Stargate.
Those are the two.
Which one?
Like I said, the Patriot, Independence Day. Those are the two. Everything else.
Those
is
are good.
whatever.
I like The Day After Tomorrow. That was good.
You know
White
what?
House Down.
I was gonna say
Down.
White House Down's a guilty pleasure of mine. It's
Dude,
not as
okay,
good,
hold on.
it's
Like, if
not
you
as
were
good
to,
as Olympus Has Fallen.
dude, I just watched the Olympus, the Olympus franchise, right, or the Angel, whatever you want to call them, all three.
Right.
And I recently watched. I was gonna review them, but I never got around to it. But I did watch them all. I fucking love Olympus Has Fallen. I
Oh,
fucking love
Oh,
Olympus
the
Has
first one
Fallen.
especially.
The
The first one
trilogy is
especially.
just amazing on its like together. Like it's like the best disaster trilogy, honestly. Like,
It's really what I love. What I love about like the second movie is that like they basically, the second movie is almost like a remake of White House Down.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
If you think about it, it's just like, but it's got better chemistry with
That's what makes
Channing
it
Tatum
good.
and Jamie Foxx.
that's what makes it really funny.
Oh yeah. Well then what I loved, I was watching Angel Has Fallen. I was like, hey, what the fuck's this one gonna be like? You know,
Oh,
and it basically just turns into like the Bourne Identity. Essentially, it's just
Yeah.
kind of like something like that. But again, and they're doing more. Apparently, they're doing more.
they are.
They're doing more Gerard Butler.
Oh wait, isn't Gerard
Angel-
Butler now taking over as director?
Probably, but he's gonna get caught up in some
Yeah.
shit. I don't know. All I know is I'm down for it. Like, he's got a new movie coming out
yeah.
called Plane.
Right.
They
Gerard
got, was
Butler
it?
is just great.
Well, like what was the one he did? It was the global. What was the global warming one just recently?
It was with
Monica
it.
Barakin.
yeah, it was. Hold on, now I have to look this up.
I know, right? I know. I've heard the name of it, but they're doing a sequel to that. Apparently,
Yeah, I was gonna say Remy Batfleck. That is one of the funnier stories. That White House Down and Olympus Has Fallen came out the same year.
Greenland.
Greenland. That's what it is. Yeah.
Greenland,
Well,
yeah.
here's the thing though. Rami Batfleck is correct, and that's not uncommon for Hollywood.
Oh, I
The-
know,
the-
but that was just
the-
really
the-
funny. Like in March, Olympus Has Fallen came out, this gritty R-rated political thriller movie, like the
Yeah,
White House being
yeah.
invaded. And then in the summer, it's like Jamie Foxx and Chitty Chang, let's just have fun.
Well, because
Kind of
we
movie,
had
same
because
premise.
at the drive-in we never got. I was there when those movies came out. We never got Olympus Has Fallen, but we did get White House Down. So we got White House Down in the summer, and we're like watching it. We're going like, okay, because we're like, wait, isn't Olympus Has Fallen like the same fucking movie? But none of us watched it till it came out on home video a few months later, and we watched it. We're like, oh yeah, this was fucking great.
I saw both in the theater, so that was fun. I got to see both in the theater.
I
Both are
still-
fun
yeah.
movies.
The fact that Olympus has actually been able to garner a franchise, whereas
I
White
know,
House
that's
Down didn't.
crazy.
But what's but hey, at least we know. At least it's funny that James Woods gets killed in that movie. So Mo here
Oh, was
says I
James
agree with.
Woods in I forgot James.
No,
Woods was
James
in
Woods
that.
wasn't in Olympus. He was the bad guy. He was the turncoat in White House Down. It was
Oh,
Dylan
right.
McDermott. Dylan McDermott was the turncoat in Olympus Has Fallen.
I
but the
totally
thing-
forgot James Woods was in that movie.
But here's the thing, though: who directed Olympus Has Fallen?
Wasn't it
Anton Fuqua. Yes,
Yes.
and Anton Fuqua is a fucking good director. He's a
Yes.
fucking good director.
Oh, great director, great producer, great writer. Just like all around great creative.
Super underrated as well, I feel like.
You know who I
Oh,
think
yeah.
is super underrated as far as like black directors go? F. Gary Gray.
Oh yeah.
Fucking
yeah.
love F. Gary Gray, dude.
F. Gary
Fucking
Gray is
love
also
that guy.
Great.
Like,
Like-
totally underrated, but he's got banger movies. You know what I mean? Like fucking go back and watch. Like, for one, Friday, just fucking Friday is one of my
Friday, Set It
all-time
Off.
favorite movies. Set It Off was great. What else he did? The fucking the Italian Job with Mark Wahlberg.
Didn't he do Law Abiding Citizen with Jamie Foxx?
Yeah. That was good. The ending got kind of fucking weird, but the movie up until the ending was really good.
It was
The
good.
ending was just like, what? Okay, whatever. But
Yeah.
I think they're doing the TV show, a Law Abiding Citizen
they?
TV show. I think. I don't know. F. Gary Gray did fucking Fast and Furious 8.
Yeah,
So,
he also
you
did
know.
the Straight Outta Compton movie.
Oh, that was so good. Straight Outta Compton was fucking
Straight Outta
great.
Compton is a great movie.
So good. Rational asking, so you don't like Tim's story? I do like Tim's story, actually. I do like Tim's story. I actually think hot take, and then I got to go give my
No.
kid some food because she's
No.
knocking at my
I
door
know what you're
again.
about to say.
I'm gonna
Fuck
say
you.
it. I'm
No,
gonna
fuck
say it.
you.
I'm gonna say it.
Fuck off.
The first Fantastic Four
No,
movie was
no,
actually good.
No, No, it wasn't. It was dog shit.
And
They're
the
all
second
dog
one
shit.
wasn't as bad either.
No, fuck off.
You
Fuck
all,
off.
you,
No.
dude,
Actually,
you
I
were
mean, it's
probably
fucking
you were
horrible
just out of
movies.
diapers when that one
No,
dropped, dude.
they're
You don't,
horrible movies.
no.
They're not good representations of those characters. They're horrible movies. No.
No.
Okay. I mean, like,
Hold, I'll be
this.
right back though.
Do they
You're
age
dog
well?
shit.
No. But they are good for when they came out.
No, they're not good. They're not good for their time period. They're not good for what they are. They're shit. They're shit movies.
At least
They're bad
at least it's not
representations as
Fan-Forstic.
characters. People need to stop defending them.
At
Are
least
they
it
better
was
than
not
Fan-Forstic?
Fan-Forstic. Yes.
But they're still shit. Shit's still shit, even if it's a different color.
No.
Yes.
RJ's wrong.
No, I'm 100% correct.
Type 1 and 2 if RJ's wrong, and type 3 if RJ's wrong.
No, the 2005 Fantastic Four movie is dog shit.
Is it rewatchable? Yes. Is it enjoyable? Yes. Is it good? No.
No, they're
But
not good movies.
It's enjoyable and rewatchable.
No, they're not.
You can still enjoy and rewatch something and still think it's not good. See, everyone says RJ's wrong.
No, Jessica Alba is like the worst thing ever in that movie. She's a horrible Sue Storm.
Wow.
Horrible. Horribly miscast. She looks horrible in that fake blonde wig. Horrible, horrible cast.
I think they should have gone natural for Jessica, honestly. If they did, then it would.
Michael Chiklis was good, and Ian Grufford was good. That's about it, though.
Evans was
Evans
was
is
playing.
fun.
Evans during that time was always playing a douchebag.
But no, those movies are dog shit. Jessica Alba's horrible. Doctor Doom's horrible. The plots are horrible. All of it's horrible. It's horrible.
Doug Jones and Lawrence Fishburne as Silver Surfer is.
What a waste. Two great actors that got absolutely wasted with the horrible movie. It's so sad. It really is.
At least everyone got no.
And Galactus was a cloud. That's what I remember.
Yeah, which was
that.
like I see some people trying to defend it, but I'm like, you
No,
can't
that's
defend
horrible. No, you can't defend that.
Like, yeah, like, no, it's whatever.
Don't defend garbage. Like, garbage is garbage.
And
It's
then,
okay.
Fan-Forstic was weird.
Oh, Fan-Forstic is like one of the worst.
Fan-Forstic was trying to rush 10.
decade.
Fan-Forstic was trying to rush 10 years of story into one movie.
Yeah, they really did. But I mean, dude, the first look, Chris Evans as the Human Torch, Michael Chiklis as the Thing. All right, like Julian McMahon as Doctor Doom, Jessica Alba as the Invisible Woman.
Jessica Alba was fucking horrible.
You shut your whore mouth.
No,
you shut your filthy whore mouth.
She was a miscast and should have been kicked off after the first
Really,
movie.
really.
She was horrendous.
You know who fucked up movies more often than not, dude. All right, have you ever seen the Pitch Perfect movies? Haley Steinfeld sucks. She was terrible in those movies. God awful.
It's Pitch Perfect. Who gives a shit?
Like the first two were good, but then they left.
Look, Fan-Forstic sucks. Okay, we can all agree that Fan-Forstic is just effing terrible.
Like, that's like the worst. That's the worst one.
Yeah, that's
Doom as a sex doll.
Well, Doom is like a trash bag man. Yeah.
Who played Doctor Doom in that movie?
It was, Toby Kebbell.
Yeah, Toby Kebbell.
And then for some reason I thought it was Oscar Isaac. I don't know why. I think it was because I kind of blurred Apocalypse.
Yeah.
I kind of like blurred Apocalypse and fucking Fan-Forstic together.
They're both just as bad. So.
They are, and they're both
when
from
Jimmy
Fox.
Bell was Ben Grimm, that whole movie was miscast.
No, Mo, I put your super chat up on the screen. It was for RJ. He read it.
I did.
I don't know. It said what he said. He said something here. He said he agrees with you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
You know, hold on, I gotta find it. It's way back up here in the chat. Anyway, okay, sorry.
Feige,
I agree with RJ. Stargate 1994 is met and overrated. But can you really ever take Mo seriously on anything, though?
No.
Well, no, I'll stand with Mo for this one. Thank you, Mo, for having my back.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
I'm not saying
Anthony asking, you don't want release the train cut? No, I would absolutely watch the train cut.
I don't think it'll make it a better movie.
Absolutely do that. Hold on, check. Did I miss another super chat? I must have when I was out. I thought I got them
Josh
all.
Trank is the reason why
There hasn't been many
terrible.
super chats tonight,
I
so
don't
I
wanna
can't
see-
really
I
like
don't
say I
wanna
missed
see-
any.
I don't want to see body horror Fantastic Four. No.
I mean, it's like an experimental Elseworlds movie. Like, I'm fine with that. Like, it would have been interesting. Like, if you're gonna go like
Or
dark
as, like-
horror with Fantastic Four, like actually commit to it. But they didn't commit to it. So
I just
And
want to
then
see Mr. Fantastic tickle her
I wanna
ivories, if you
see-
know what I mean.
Like the other problem with Fantastic is that
Jesus.
like they didn't even like try to make the costumes seem
oh
appealing.
no, the costumes are horrible.
Well, I mean, what's a worse offender, that or Dark Phoenix?
Dark Phoenix at least has like that final action sequence. That's fun.
Yeah.
No, oh my god.
But the rest
Dark
of the movie
Phoenix.
is really bad. It's really
Yeah.
bad.
Like, oh my
Like
god.
that whole the women are doing all the work around here. Should call it the ex-women. Like, what the fuck? Like, listen, I don't believe any of that shit, but that life's just horrible.
Yeah, Benson here says no super chats. Maybe it's time for another Seagal review. Yeah, we'll have to talk tomorrow. Because what is it? Tonight at midnight, we've got the Weird Al movie dropping, and also Enola Holmes 2 drops.
I forgot about that.
So I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch
Something
Enola
else
Holmes
drops in,
tomorrow.
like,
Well, how much? How many other topics did you have?
There's a little bit on the earnings call here.
Okay.
We
So I had that
got
other thing I was going to bring up if you got time for it. So
the Doctor Who thing.
yeah, we
I
had time for
don't
it, though.
fucking
RJ's
care.
obsessed with Doctor Who right now.
No, I'm just saying it's like it's big news.
No,
but
you're
come on
obsessed.
another night, it's fine.
Hold on. Timothy Morgan here says Roland Emmerich's best movie is Midway.
I have not seen it away.
I haven't seen that either. Yeah. Didn't he did one a long time ago called Anonymous that was about like who really was William Shakespeare?
Mm.
I never saw that one either, but I think it came out like a decade ago. And then, of course, Independence Day Resurgence is a movie.
I forgot he did Godzilla 1998.
I never did.
Yeah.
I
That's
was
the one that
I
made it
was
so bad.
16 when that movie came out, dude. I
know,
worked
I'm
at the
so
movie
sorry.
theater that summer when that came out. You know, it was like, I'll
Wait.
tell you this, but what you guys have to understand is, look, we can look back through the lens right now and go, man, that movie was just a Jurassic Park knockoff. Because that's really what it was. It was
trying to be, yeah. Especially
really-
The Lost World.
The Lost World,
Broderick-
especially well,
Oh
Anne
my
Hesh,
God.
right? Hank
but
Azaria,
dude, it
but
was just a-
Jean
it was a-
Reno. Jean Reno is
Jean Reno.
that for me. That's great. That's good. Like anything with Jean Reno gets elevated by
Matt, they
like 10
killed
points.
Godzilla with missiles. The one thing he's supposed to be indestructible against.
I'm aware of how they got him. I also know that they made little raptor babies, Godzilla
Why?
babies in Madison Square
Why?
Garden. I don't know. All I know is at the time, RJ, you have to remember,
Wait,
at the time,
Diddy was in the movie?
Diddy did the soundtrack. It was him and
Oh, right.
the end credit song with him and God, who like dun na 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 that song. You know, I remember that
Jimmy
when it came.
Page.
Jimmy Page, that's what it was. Yeah, I remember when that came out. But
Come
no,
with
back
me.
then, the teenagers liked Godzilla back then.
Yeah, because you guys watched the superior Japanese movies on VHS, like Godzilla 1998 or 1985 when that came out.
God, I fucking hate Godzilla 1985.
No, you don't. You're such
They
a goddamn
lured
liar.
Godzilla into a volcano using seagulls, RJ. That's how they killed Godzilla in Godzilla 1985. They lured him into a volcano with seagulls. Do
Yeah,
you know
it
I
was-
cried at that movie? I cried at that movie because they fucked with Godzilla. They fucked up Godzilla in that movie, man. I was
No, they
so pissed.
didn't. You
I was
fuck 'em
so
up.
pissed.
Which movie?
I think it was Godzilla 1985.
No, you're the wrong movie. Godzilla 1985 was like a remake of like it was like the reset of Godzilla.
Which
Like,
is the
after
one where they maybe it's the one with Raymond Burr. Which one is Raymond Burr in?
That's the original. That's the
No.
original American remake of the
Which
original 1955 film.
Yeah, that's 1956, not 5.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Which one did they lure him into the volcano with fucking seagulls, man? I thought that was 85. I need to go watch it again.
No,
My memory's a little off. I saw it back in like the 80s. All right.
there
I
was
saw-
another one released in the 80s. I think it wasn't 85 though. I don't think. I might be misremembering though. I don't remember.
No, here's
I looked up Lord Godzilla with seagulls and nothing comes up.
maybe I'm probably just
I think you're thinking
misremembering
like
it.
a totally different movie.
Maybe, you know what? It's
Not even
entirely
Godzilla
possible.
movie.
Well, I remember why. I remember they had Bambi Meets Godzilla, that little animated short in the beginning. You ever see Bambi Meets Godzilla?
Godzilla 2000.
No.
Oh, you know what? I should bring it up. It's short. Okay, Jess here for 5. Thanks, buddy. Says, I love how Japan took that Godzilla and have it killed by their Godzilla.
Oh, that
I
was
think-
amazing. In Godzilla Final Wars, they did like a giant fuck you to America.
Maybe
In the
they
final
did.
Godzilla
I can't
movie-
wait for Toho next year.
Yeah, but in the final Godzilla movie made in Japan before the Shin Godzilla reboot, Godzilla Final Wars, Godzilla like bitch slapped the monster they called Zilla, which was the American Godzilla from '98, and just fucking killed him in like an epic rock music montage. This is a fuck you. So that movie,
Nice.
It was amazing. They said
Good.
this
It
monster's a
deserves
little
to
bitch
die.
compared to us.
I need to go back and watch all those again. I do
Godzilla
like those
Final
movies.
Wars is amazing. It's like the human stuff is just a kung fu movie, so it's like all action.
I'm really hopeful that we get something a lot better in regards to the human stuff in the next
Okay,
King
well,
Kong
into
versus
the 2
Godzilla.
versions of '85, one for Japan, one for America.
Okay. Which one had the seagulls?
None of them.
Which
I don't
okay, which
think
one?
any of
Oh wait, hold on. Godzilla dies in volcano.
I looked up
It's the Return of Godzilla is the one that I saw.
Which one? What year was that?
1984 Japanese kaiju film directed by Koji Hashimoto. The
Oh,
film
with
features
Raymond Burr.
is Raymond Burr in that one?
Yes.
Also was '85, but you watched the Japanese version? Because that was the American version.
Yeah, I don't see Raymond Burr listed in the credits though.
Was Raymond Burr in the American version? I was a little confused.
Oh, okay. Godzilla. Let's see here. Alternate English versions. Godzilla 1985.
Yeah,
So-
this one has Shin Katama.
All right, I'm mistaken then. Shit.
So okay, there's a lot with this thing, right?
There's so many Godzilla movies on it.
so many. So I'm thinking I saw like the right movie. I'm assuming this. Okay. So let's see. I'm trying to figure out what. Okay, Godzilla Super
I
X.
looked up Godzilla Seagulls. Nothing popped up.
Yeah. Okay. Godzilla fall. Oh. They didn't use seagulls. They lured Godzilla to a volcano with a homing device,
Oh.
and that's what they lure him into. I was pissed. I think because he ends up like, there's another. Yeah. I was pissed at that because I was like, they lured him.
They lured him and killed him, but he came back 2 years later or whatever.
I know that. All right, like fine. They locked him in a volcano. I was a kid. Okay.
Oh, that's
was a
right.
kid.
They didn't kill him. He got locked inside the volcano.
Okay,
so control him until they
all right, but it still traumatized me as a child because I was like, I was on Godzilla's side as a kid.
So you didn't like how they put him in
I
prison?
didn't like that. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I didn't. But I was okay. So at least I'm not completely fucking insane. But here,
Matt was
check
like,
this
I'm
out.
to check myself into an insane asylum.
I remember seeing it. It turns out I remember partially correctly. Anyway, this is the Bambi Meets Godzilla 1969 short film. That's literally it.
Oh, it's kind of right.
I feel like I've seen this before.
Who killed Bambi's parents?
It's like a
Zilla.
famous short film. Like, I feel like I've seen this before. Or they're helping him take that syphilis, but it's just fun though.
Walt Disney would be proud.
It's just I saw that in front of the Godzilla movie I watched as a kid.
Oh,
Like
wow.
that was they played that was on the VHS.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I was on the VHS. Anyway, let's get back into this shit here. All right, so Warner Brothers Discovery had their earnings call today. Things did not go well. I think we can agree. Things did not go very well.
Do they ever go well though on earnings calls?
I mean, like, look, they're a brand new company.
When you
They've
go
made a
on
lot of
rant for
shakeups.
like when you go on a rant for like 20, 30 minutes about how 2.5 Men is like the greatest television alive.
Yeah, what was
right
up
now,
with that?
Yeah, like
I
that was
don't
so
know.
weird.
It was hilarious.
Like,
I was
okay, so
laughing when
it sounded like he was angry at some point. Like he was
Yes.
angry that people were upset that like
he
they
got
cut.
angry in the middle of the call. Like once you guys once they started talking about like the write-off stuff, he started getting angry, and then he repeated himself like 5 times about how like we don't do anything that's not good for like that whole thing, and he's like 2.5 Men is like 3 times more than the show, and like he's like in love with 2.5 Men, and like he kept on using 2.5 Men, and like only brought up Big Bang Theory once, and it's like 2.5 Men. I'm like, dude, what's your obsession with 2.5 Men? Like that was
Because
it was, like,
that is a very boomery show, to be fair. That show
True.
is all like he's all like, man, I'm just like Charlie Sheen
right.
winning Tiger Blood. That's me, baby. That's
Yeah.
me. It's just
I was laughing.
that's
the whole
crazy,
time.
dude.
Like he was legit. Like you can hear it in his tone of his voice that he was mad, and that he was going on a rant for like legit 30 minutes about how like 30, 40 minutes about this whole like write-off stuff and how it,
I didn't cover the call.
oh, and he
but-
also brought up the NBA. He also brought up the NBA for like 10 minutes, which is really weird, out of like nowhere. So I'm like, what the heck? He was going on some really weird rants on the last like 30 minutes of that call.
That's crazy.
I'm like, dude.
Well, I mean, like
It's
like he had talked about how. Well, okay, there's the thing here where he did say that when removing shows from the platforms, they didn't take one show off that would help them in any way. They'll replace those shows with content that has a chance to be more successful with a larger audience. And I'm like, I think you misunderstand like why a streaming service like that is necessary. You know, you can build up, you can market it better to the fans that you've already got, and then go from there and like build up, you know. But all he did is anger people because they didn't give any explanation, and they didn't like try to work.
Creatives who were like they became like the laughing stock for a little bit and like really got a lot of shit.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like, and also someone brought up the Wall Street Journal article, and like I think it was Zaslav or someone else, and said like let's not talk about the news, and let's move on. Like clearly that Wall Street Journal article pissed them off. Like,
what was that Wall Street Journal article that came out?
The two things that
came out right before the earnings call.
Yeah, it came out right before the earnings call, and then it was archived for some reason.
And okay, so that one is actually lost on me. I don't know what happened. Is that is that the link the archive link you posted in the group chat?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't click on that because I didn't know what the fuck it was.
Yeah, basically the two things I got from it is that they're no longer working on like teenage and children skewed shows, like for HBO.
So what happens to Cartoon Network?
Oh, well, as Cartoon Network said on the 30th thing, was like, we're not dead, but we're also not Cartoon Network. And then
how does that mean?
I don't know. And then like also their American Dad, like they're trying to get out of the American Dad contract. And
oh my god!
On TBS.
Yeah,
apparently I read about that. They want to like get rid of American Dad and get that contract with Fox.
Well, okay, listen. Here's the thing: if you're gonna kill American Dad, and maybe it's time, but the show is still pretty funny. I would say it's done better than Family Guy in my opinion. But if you're gonna kill it, give it a finale. Give it an actual fucking finale, and wrap it up. But that's pretty funny that they want to kill American
But like
Dad.
with his whole rant, he was like, he was like, he was like, decisions those decisions didn't make sense before. Now the ones we make are getting through this merger. I'm not talking about how AT&T. I'm talking about us. Spending and returns don't make sense and were a mistake. Could have worked, but it didn't. I'm like, what are you saying? Like, he was speaking like I think like his emotions got ahead of him in that rant. Like, I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah. Also, Donovan's right. Degrassi got canned,
Yeah.
which is weird because like Degrassi's popular.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
the
really
revival
popular.
show from what
Like
15
Or
years
Revival
ago.
if
was
any
doing
show
really
would have,
well, like,
I
too.
thought any show that would have like passed it, like to get like at least out, would have been a Canadian version of Euphoria that was
And they would have done that with Degrassi. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I used to watch the Degrassi back when it was on the Noggin.
Right.
Back in the early 2000s and whatnot. Like it was actually solid. They had some good stuff there.
Yeah.
You know.
But I'm just
Also,
like,
Jay and Silent Bob do Degrassi is like I think a 3-part episode or a 2-part episode that Kevin Smith directed for Jay and
Really?
Silent Bob go to Degrassi to shoot a movie. That is a real thing, by the way. I do own the DVD of that.
but yeah.
Yes, Jay and Silent Bob do Degrassi. How the fuck did that happen? Actually, Kevin Smith has the best little joke one time he said about the Noggin, because after 9 p.m. it became the N. Like Nickelodeon used to change. It was like, you know, it was Nickelodeon at night or Nick at night, but then at the daytime it was just like Nick with an exclamation point. And then Kevin Smith's like,
Yeah.
it's 9 o'clock on the Noggin. Time to put away the fucking puppets.
Oh my god. But yeah, and there was something else that happened in the very beginning of the call, Zaslav sounded like a robot, and I was like, what the heck? He's very monotone, and he was like, and like you could hear him flipping through a piece of paper. Like, it was just like
He
the
was
first
like
10 minutes,
overage.
the first 10, 20 minutes of him talking, robot, and then the next 10, 20 minutes, him like you can hear him like aggressively flipping through the piece of paper.
Are we sure that AT&T wasn't powering the call?
Because I'm like, this call like for like the first 20 minutes or like so, and then like the last
The whole,
like 30
like, yeah,
minutes,
like the whole thing was just weird. Like the
it
whole
was
call
just so
That's
weird.
that's some pretty weird shit there. But
And
it gets a little. Well, what was it like? I mean, like, look, you can tell like this guy doesn't understand like what he's doing. You can honestly tell at this point that like John Stanky fucking stuck him with this shit. Like Stanky, you could tell like Stanky was like, yeah, man, you could totally do with it what you got to do with it. It will be fine. No one cares because their HBO Max numbers went down this quarter. They I mean, like they got nothing. I mean, House of the Dragon did well, but it didn't like move the needle that much.
Well, like as someone said, it wasn't as successful as like it didn't do anything.
I mean, it was a massive hit though. We can't deny
But
that.
well, that's the thing. That's true. But
it's
like,
true. But
how
it was
can
a massive hit with the people that were already subscribed?
Oh yeah,
To the
So you're saying they bring in like new people?
It didn't bring in.
It just kind of like
to
revitalize what was already there.
Yeah, it was already whoever was there was already there and watching it. It didn't bring anyone new to the platform. They were saying, like, I read a thread and it said,
well, you know what they're gonna do to bring things back to the platform, don't you? Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh snap! We're gonna be getting a Superman movie, and we haven't had a Superman movie in 13 years, guys.
What?
No, he's just he got that wrong. It's been 9 years, but we haven't had a Harry Potter movie in 15 years, which again is not accurate.
Didn't the last Harry Potter movie come out like earlier?
2011. 2011 was the last Harry Potter movie.
Well, technically, if you count Fantastic Beasts,
does anybody want to count Fantastic Beasts?
It still counts as Harry Potter.
I mean, you know, sure, kind of, maybe.
I think
this is like.
I think Zaslav needs to retake a math lesson.
No, he needs to take his Alzheimer's medicine because I think that's where he's at now. He's just like early onset dementia is where they no really like if I were a shareholder at Warner Brothers Discovery, I'd be like, ooh, so Universal, what are you doing, Comcast? You guys coming on in on this one now? Because that's what's happening.
Oh,
Like it's been failure after failure after failure. The joke I made a joke today on Twitter about. I said, do you guys remember when Yahoo bought Tumblr? And I said the same things. It's kind of like when Elon buying Twitter, but it's I can also apply that to. It's like Zaslav taking over Warner Brothers Discovery is just like just mismanagement out the ass. But also, by the way, quick little update on that one. I make that joke. Then today, Tumblr comes out and they've updated their content to allow nudity on the website again.
Oh yeah, I saw.
So
And,
it's like,
and then one of my friends tweeted out eggplant emoji tagging, like, and then wrote tagging, and like the graph where it's like going up. I'm like, wait, what's going on? And it's like Tumblr's allowing pictures now. I'm like, oh my god.
yeah. Well, I mean, that hurt. That really kind of killed the. That really kind of killed a lot of their traffic. And then of course here's the thing with Tumblr I don't get. They were literally bought by the parent company of WordPress, and yet they have not integrated that at all. Which makes no sense. Like Tumblr it's a really straightforward, intuitive process to get a blog off. The Tumblr blog is really easy.
Yeah.
And WordPress is like simplified, but it's still kind of it's still complicated.
I use WordPress for the site I write for, and man, sometimes
I could have sworn that was Wix, given how that site is formatted. I don't know who to yell at in regards to that, but it's like I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Why is it reading like it's a live journal blog from 2004?
I don't know.
It's like I understand that it's designed for mobile devices, but at the same time, that formatting on mobile still doesn't look good.
I talked to Mo about that the other day, and I was like, and he was like, "We'll work on it." I'm like, okay.
Are you surprised though that they're like he's basically on like we're gonna emphasize franchises and blockbusters theatrically?
Yeah.
Like we're only gonna like we don't need to stream movies. It's all gonna be theatrical movies.
Well, yeah, he was like, you said that direct-to-consumer movies don't do well.
Don't do well for us.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus 2 is like Disney Plus's biggest streaming movie ever.
Billions of minutes watched.
And wasn't what was like
we've watched it like 3-4 times in this household so far.
Yeah, I'm like, direct-to-consumer movies work.
Yeah.
It's a matter of how you advertise it.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, I will fully admit Hocus Pocus 2 is really good. I was surprised at how much I liked Hocus Pocus 2. So bring on a third one. I'm kidding. Don't let it die. But it was good. The solid 2 movies were good.
Didn't Kimmy do really well?
Which one?
The Zoe Kravitz HBO Max movie?
I have I forgot that movie even came out, to be honest with you.
I mean, there was American Pickle, there was Kimmy, there was a bunch of other movies that I don't really remember.
I thought American Pickle was Apple TV, honestly.
You know what? That kind of feels like an Apple TV Plus movie, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Who knows? It's now off HBO Max, and they might license it over to Apple TV Plus. Because that's the thing, is like Ted Lasso is a Warner Brothers show licensed to Apple TV Plus.
No Sudden Move was straight to streaming and no theatrical, right?
Which one is No Sudden Move?
The one with John Hamm and Brendan Fraser and.
Well, Matt, let me ask you this.
I don't remember that one, to be honest with you.
So when he brings up Harry Potter, right? You and I have both agreed that the logical next step for them should be to make Harry Potter into a streaming series, like to reboot it as a streaming series, each season being a book. If Zaslav doesn't believe in the streaming stuff though, and wants to emphasize theatrical.
Well, that's very true, and that was the next little thing I had here. Warner Brothers Discovery wants to make more Harry Potter films if J.K. Rowling agrees.
Well, what would you do?
Okay. Well, I don't think you need to reboot the movies to remake the books in movie form. But then again,
what they do though.
Well, they might, because keep in mind that was their approach to the Tolkien estate.
And let's cast Daniel Radcliffe as Voldemort.
But what they should do is if they're going to do anything, continue on. For one, ditch the Fantastic Beast franchise. Like, it's dead. It's just dead.
Yeah.
It's been
honestly.
plagued by so many problems
I know. Yeah.
and everything else.
Would you do a Cursed Child? Would you do the Cursed
No,
Child
God, no.
adaptation?
That story, that was bad. That story, that Harry Potter fans do not like Cursed Child.
No,
That
they
that
don't.
would not go over well with fans. I think if they were to do something telling the story of Harry Potter as an auror, like an aurora, whatever it is, with the Ministry of Magic, would be a very interesting. If he uncovered something that would,
I mean, if
be
you just go ahead and do the first war with Voldemort as movie form, then-
yeah, you could. I mean,
And-
I would like to see if you're going to go after Voldemort, go after Voldemort. Don't go after, Grindelwald is
like
one thing.
do the whole Riddle into Voldemort, and then end off with the whole Voldemort going after the Potter family, and then end
Oh,
it
and
there.
end with that? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't need to be a trilogy. That could just be like one
No.
movie.
It could be honestly
or
a
two
duology.
movies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
you could
duology.
do two movies with that
and then
and
boom,
tell a long story.
and then
But I would like to see. Well, what I would like to see is, this is going to sound really weird, and it would never be done now that Alan Rickman is dead. But I would have loved to have gotten a Snape movie. But
Yeah.
one specific point, I want to see what happens at the end of Goblet of Fire when Snape leaves Hogwarts to go return to the Death Eaters as a fucking spy, right? And like how, because that,
yeah.
and then take that all the way through Half-Blood Prince, or Order of the Phoenix Half-Blood Prince to where he kills Dumbledore, and like that's where it's at. Like that's where the movie would end, or him going into the tower is where the movie could end, because then you're like, okay, like we know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It sucks, but at the same time, it's like now we get the context of what happened. I mean, look, that is just like wishful thinking on my part. I've always been, because I remember how I felt back in 2001. So it's like 21 years ago when I read the first 4 books before the first movie came out. My sister had handed me the books and she was like, here, read these. Cause I was, at the time I had just started at the drive-in and they hated me there. They wanted to fire me, but they realized that they could just like send me off into like literally the other side of the parking lot to check tickets for like 4 hours a night and just leave me out there, which they did for a while until it got cold. But during that time, I had a lot of free time. And so I was like, all right, well, I don't really know what to do. I didn't have a car. So my sister just goes like, well, here, read these books. So she handed me Harry Potter books and I blazed through them. I fucking loved them. At the end of book 4, I'm like, dude, the end of book 4, that gave me goosebumps reading that book, because I remember like, you're like, okay, hold on. Like shit is now getting real. Voldemort has effectively returned. Snape is off doing undercover work. Like the battle is coming, like shit's getting real. And then I feel like the Order of the Phoenix kind of like lost the momentum from the end of that book. And then the movies never even really conveyed any of that shit. I mean, look at the way the Half-Blood Prince. I'm sorry, I gotta kind of bitch about this. I still get mad thinking about the ending of the Half-Blood Prince, the movie, where like all of the buildup in the book about like who the Half-Blood Prince was and that reveal on Snape's behalf was like such a moment in the books where you're like, holy shit, like dude, this
movie
is
just
fuck
totally
in the. And I get why, because they had to make the death of Dumbledore more impactful. That they focused on setting.
That was the biggest thing for them.
That was the biggest thing, yeah, and that was them setting up the Deathly Hallows, and I totally fucking get it. I totally understand why. But just as like a longtime Harry Potter fan, I'm like, come on, guys. I mean, like it's like Alphonse Cuarón directed the best Harry Potter movie, but it was like the weakest when it came to the adaptation.
Yeah.
I that's what I want to see. Is I want to see like a showrunner tackle these stories from beginning to end with the careful eye that they need. And I know these are kids' books and whatever, and you can hate J.K. Rowling all you want because she's got some abhorrent views. But it's like there is a world that she built there that's like really, really interesting. And like I would love to see them do more with it, but move away from Harry Potter. Like, is there like not go into the whole Newt Scamander thing, but there's like
The
other
mortars.
stories.
Go into the mortars.
Mm.
Go into
You know,
like
Well, how are you feeling about like J.K. Rowling continuing to be involved and Zaslav really being like, yeah, we want to talk to her? And
at this point, I'm fine with it, to be honest with you. I don't have any issue with it. Look, do I think that JK's views are dumb? Yeah. But at the same time, that's the gatekeeper. You know? Like, that's the gatekeeper. Now, what I think they need to do is am I wrong? No. She's the gatekeeper. If you want more Harry Potter, which is massively fucking popular still, and you want them to do more with that, you're going to have to get her on board. There's enough people out there that would still go see these movies to make them profitable. They would just look, even Daniel Radcliffe has said, like, she doesn't represent us, basically. What are you bringing up here? What is this?
it's legit a minute ago. Twitter is being sued for conducting mass layoffs without the required 60-day notice.
Oh wow.
Because
Yeah,
this
because
week,
Elon just walked in and fired all those people.
yeah, and let me actually.
Oh yeah, that's the thing with that too. Is so for those of you who don't know, rumors came out today. Well, reports really came out today that Elon Musk was going to lay off about half.
Yeah.
So 3,700 employees, and he was going to do it via email.
Yeah. Here's let me find that.
So
Oh,
I'm
there
very
we go,
curious
right
to see if that happens.
Oh, here's the actually let me. Here. Oh wait.
Yeah,
how did I
and
do it?
apparently the employees inside of Twitter are calling this the snap, or like
Oh yeah, I heard
or
about
they're-
that. Yeah,
like Elon was like like Thanos.
yeah. There was I saw that brought up today as well. I mean, like, look, I think Elon is going to test the waters to see like what's going to stick, But with Tumblr's like, hey guys, we're allowing nudity again on this day. To me, says like they're like, hey, we can actually get people to come back to the platform.
Yeah.
Because Tumblr at its height was really, really popular. So
Well, isn't Jack Dorsey making Blue Sky as well?
is it Jack Dorsey doing that, or is it
I
somebody
think
else?
it's Jack Dorsey.
I mean, look, Blue Sky. All Blue Sky has to do is like be like, we're gonna lighten up the verification threshold. And so, if he comes out and he's like, we're gonna verify you if you want to be verified. We're not gonna charge you $8 a month to do it. That's gonna
people
kill
will
Twitter.
move to Blue Sky.
Yeah, I just, for one, anyone who ends up in the next 3 months who has their check mark still and has to fucking pay for it, everyone's gonna know who's paying for Twitter Blue.
Oh, they're gonna make fun of him.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get mocked heavily. I got people messaging me. They're just like you've always wanted to be verified. Are you gonna pay for this? I'm like, no, I'm not gonna pay for this. Like that's so stupid to me.
Well,
I have
I'm not
other
paying-
things I spend money on.
I had Twitter Blue for like the article stuff and like the early access to features, the undo tweet option. I'm probably gonna unsubscribe because I don't want to be verified. They don't need to be.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel, I mean, I feel like being verified would be better for me just because of my stature.
Yeah, but I think, like the whole, like anyone can pay $8, legit, like for like a month or 2 or 3 months, whatever, and legit impersonate anyone. And
yeah, well,
like,
it all depends on their verification process and how,
right,
how they intend.
like if it's like this where it's like, okay, you pay $8 to get into the verification process, then fine, whatever. That's still a little iffy to pay $8 to get into a process to verify you're real to whatever, to get a blue check, to say you're the real one.
Yeah.
It's a little spotty, like it's weird. But yeah, with this, it seems like a class action suit was filed today in San Francisco because of the company is laying off people without enough notice in violation of the federal and California law. The Federal Worker Adjustment and Retaining Notification Act restricts large companies like Twitter from mounting mass layoffs without at least 60 days of advance notice. Twitter didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. The lawsuit asked the court to issue an order requiring Twitter to obey the WARN Act and restricting the company from soliciting employees to sign documents that can give up the rights to participate in litigation, saying that they filed the suit tonight in an attempt to make sure that employees are aware that they should not sign away their rights and that they have an avenue for pursuing their rights. The attorney who filed Thursday's complaint said in an interview. Someone else sued Tesla over the similar claims in June when the electric car maker headed by Musk laid off about 10% of its work staff without warning. Tesla won a ruling from a federal judge in Austin forcing the workers in that case to pursue their claims in closed-door attribution instead of open court. But yeah.
Well, there's a lot there. With any luck, we'll get more information as time goes on. But hey, you know what? Good on the employees. Fuck Elon Musk in many different ways. So real quick though, doing some more kind of diving into the Black Adam banned in China thing. I came across a funny little tidbit on Reddit about it, where someone's like, "Oh, it's because the website was box office therapy." Was the boxofficetheory.com. Their forums is where that particular story originated. But one guy here says, because one guy here says it's not like Black Adam or DC are going to take money out of Marvel's pockets, right? Referring to the Marvel fans in China, letting the censors know about Pierce Brosnan wearing a Dalai Lama pin. But then this guy responds back with a bunch of anime fans review bombed the children's show Bluey because it had a higher IMDb score than the anime. I wouldn't put anything past a rabid fan base.
Wow. Don't fuck with Chinese fans, man.
But one guy here says, basically, unless it was Ugly Sonic getting changed or the Snyder Cut getting finished, fan campaigns are toxic nightmares. So, I mean, saying here, not that either case was Lily White, of course. Also, fucking everybody hated Ugly Sonic. Fans, Sega, the media, you name it. Well, let me just say now, I'm going to come out. I'm going to say this flat out. I stand Ugly Sonic. Okay. Right. He's GOAT after watching Rescue Rangers.
Oh yeah.
The Emmy winning best streaming movie, in 2021 or 2022. So Ugly Sonic is GOAT, needs to be goated. And they should put him into Sonic 3.
Do an Ugly Sonic FBI movie.
I would watch that in a heartbeat. I would watch. I really liked Ugly Sonic. I was so surprised.
Yeah,
I forgot. Like
I'm so blown that they did that. That was so amazing.
Senator Butthead. I mean, that was great. Like the fact that they got all of the Seth Rogen animated characters that all sound the same to appear in one shot together.
That was.
I mean,
amazing.
Roger Rabbit, fucking Paula Abdul and Cool Cat. Like, I mean, like they even had the biggest Easter egg for me, seriously, was that like they actually had the song Friendship from Tenacious D's self-titled album from over 20 years ago. And that was like the song they played at the beginning of the movie. You just hear, friendship is rare. Will you hand me that shotgun, buddy? Also that chair. It's like, I'm fighting a bear. Now my life's in great danger and I don't even care. It's fucking Tenacious D, man. And it's not even like Tribute or Fuck Her Gently, which are the two most well-known songs from their debut album. But no, I mean, like fucking Friendship is just like, I mean, holy shit, dude. I was blown away by that. That solidified that movie in my head as like top tier. I love Rescue Rangers. That movie is so goddamn good. So this is here says Chip and Dale was supposed to be Who Framed Roger Rabbit 2. I mean, effectively.
Spiritually, it is spiritually.
It's like a spiritual
successor. It's MC Scat Cat. That's right. I thought it was Cool Cap Scat Cat. Yeah.
Scat Cat.
Does Sega, Paramount, or the studio own Ugly Sonic? It would be Paramount.
It would be Paramount.
Because they would have the design. But the fact that they got...
And I think Paramount was just like, yeah, you can use it.
Well, it was the same visual effects company that did Ugly Sonic.
Yeah.
also worked on that. With I think that was Blur Studios actually, because Blur is owned by Tim Miller, and Jeff Fowler came in through Blur. What's
Right.
funny is I tell you guys, I got my kids. We watched both Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 last week. And
Oh, no.
my daughter, my 4-year-old, she's like, I want to watch Sonic. I want to watch Sonic. She's watched it a bunch. We've already watched Sonic 2 a bunch. She loves Knuckles. She's like, I love Tails and I love Knuckles. And she's like, gotta go fast, you know, like, so she's into Sonic. Like, I'm like, all right, well, we'll check out the Sonic Prime show when it drops on Netflix and everything else. But like, she loves those movies. Like, and I love those movies. I think like, as far as video game adaptations go, I feel
That's
Sonic
great.
fantastic. I can't wait for Sonic 3. Bring on Shadow. Hopefully Amy.
Oh,
Hopefully
well,
Amy.
Well,
And-
the Knuckles show too.
Oh, yeah, the
yeah.
Knuckles show. Yeah.
Is it just like, did you ever see somebody do the fan edit of dropping the N bomb and with Knuckles lines?
Yes.
Like,
That's
I heard that and I'm like, in my head canon is like, dude, just have Idris Elba come on in and just drop the N bomb with a lot of his lines. I'm just-
yeah, that was amazing.
That was hysterical, man. I love the Sonic movies. I think they're great. I think Idris Elba did such a good job as Knuckles.
Oh my god.
Just
yes.
like the lines of dialogue they had him say, and it was his delivery
Yeah.
was like, it was very just like,
I just love how like
do you know
serious
the way?
and unserious like that it
Robotnik was.
Yes.
Do you know there's flossing? They do flossing in both movies. Sonic
Yeah.
does it in the first movie, and Robotnik does it in the second. And it's just
hilarious.
like, just the whole thing of like Jim Carrey goes and says, I'm going to retire from acting after this movie. And then the last thing he says in Sonic 2 is, later, haters.
Oh, yeah. I hope he doesn't really mean that. I hope he comes back.
He's not, but it's just like,
Oh, oh my god, didn't in the movie, didn't they say like didn't Robotic in the movie do the "this is the way" meme or whatever? It's like,
he did.
you
He's
show
in the
me
the
very
way?
beginning. Yeah. He's like, I can show you the way.
I can
And,
show you
and
the
I-
way.
That's
No,
like-
he said the way. He didn't say the way. He said the way. And I'm like, I get it, because like the whole there was so much that was going on at the time. Like when Uganda Knuckles hit the popularity that we all know and love, because Uganda Knuckles is fantastic. There was a lot of people that were calling it cultural appropriation and racist, because it's all like, you know, because what was like, do you know the way?
You're
I know
making
the
fun
way,
of
do
an
you know?
accent.
Yeah, it's like, dude, no one is punching down. Like, because no one is talking about Uganda as an actual country. They're just talking about like there's, you know, like it was just a fucking VR meme, you know, is all it was, but it was really funny. And but the fact that they slyly added it into, so I didn't catch it.
Super subtle, like
I
super
didn't
subtle.
catch it right away. I caught it. Someone had told it to me after it came out. And I was like, what? No, it's not in the movie. And they're like, yeah, it's in the very beginning with Dr. Robotnik. He says, you know, he's like, I'll show you the way. And I'm like, oh, how the fuck did I miss that? 'Cause he's talking to Knuckles. I think I was
Yeah.
waiting for Knuckles to say it. But
Yeah,
then when
you
I
were
watched,
showing me Robotnik.
yeah, I just thought that was,
It's just like the scene, like he's like on this shiitake planet.
oh
and
yeah, yeah.
Tries to
All-
run, and then Knuckles is like, "No, you can't. Sorry."
No, the whole movie, like it was, a lot of people get really upset at the wedding stuff in Sonic 2, but I understand why it's there.
It's the low point of the movie, but I
It is
understand they do that break point.
It is the low point, but I also really,
just
really like
love-
the actress playing the sister.
Yeah,
I think
I
she's a
just
funny
like how
character.
The whole wedding is kind of like cannon fodder to set up like that. Her fiance is not really her fiance. Like,
Well, it's also
it's
to get them. It's also to get them out of
out of the house.
Siberia
It does
or
a bunch
whatever.
of stuff. Like it introduces gun, which is important for the future. It introduces like, you know, the whole concept.
It
of like,
introduces gives us a reason to see the humans interact with Tails's like inventions.
right. Yeah. It serves
And,
a bunch. Of
It does, and but I also like after watching the first movie, I was like, I dig the sister. I think she's funny.
Yeah,
And then like getting her in here, but like the scene, just like when she comes up on the golf court on the golf cart and she gets to the dance floor and she does like
that whole
the
scene
e-brake
is
spin and she
amazing.
gets out as it just takes out the DJ booth. I love that. There's actually ripping off a scene from the movie Red.
Well,
Bruce
it
Willis.
reminds me of the scene with Angela Bassett when she flicks the cigarette into the.
Oh, in House, what was it? How Stella Got Her Groove Back? Is that one?
Yes, I think so.
Or no. Is that, or is it Waiting to Exhale?
I think it's Waiting to Exhale.
I think it's Waiting to Exhale.
It reminded me of that.
Yeah, but it was just, but she's drinking the wine, drinking the champagne. She comes up, she's all pissed off. I just thought that was great. I thought that was funny. Plus, there's that line she gives, that deadpan line in the first movie when she's tied up. She's all like, "Hey, if you're gonna run around, get my Fitbit. At least I can get some steps." just it was funny, dude. Like, I think that's what I enjoy about the Sonic movies is that when I watch them, like, there's like this. I really, again, this is the Tim Miller producing. I really believe this. I think Fowler learning from Tim Miller how to inject a lot of heart and humor into these stories, I think really helps out.
Yeah.
And that's what I noticed. Like, again, going back to Terminator Dark Fate, I like the movie in this, and I think there's a lot of heart in that movie. Deadpool 1 has an amazing amount of heart that is clearly lacking from the sequel. Like, there's a warmness in Deadpool 2 that is lacking from the original. And I think it's
intentional too, because the first movie is meant to be like a romantic comedy. If you really think about it, that's the core of that movie. It
is. I get that. Yeah,
more being like an actual comic book movie.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I mean, I get what you're saying. But I think the way I see it is like, I'm hoping. Sean Levy's going to bring, all sorts of wonderfulness to.
I think Deadpool 3 is going to be like full on blown comedy, like for sure. Like,
it's really gonna be. I think it's gonna be crazy meta with the multiverse stuff, and like, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. All right. So it is 12:30, and I gotta go and make sure my kid is not dying.
That's probably a good thing.
Well, she's out there on the couch, like everyone's asleep on the couch right now, and so it's like they're on the couch, and she's got her tablet on low, so she's just chilling. But it's like, I don't know why she's awake. So last night was, so I probably have to. I'll probably go hang out with her for a little while until she falls asleep. She does this thing where she goes, this is so funny. Today I was like, I had a little bit of time. Like, I'm gonna go play Ghost Recon Wildlands, and I go start playing it. And she's like, "Daddy, I want to play video games." And I'm all like, "All right, whatever. You can come in and play." She'll be on her tablet as I'm playing the game, and then she wants to, like, she keeps trying to steal my controller, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I want to play. It's my turn." It's not your turn. No, it's not your turn. It's my turn. No, I'm playing. So she goes and she finds like my, cause I have the Xbox Series, S controller, and then I've got my Xbox One X controller. So she finds that and she brings it over. She's like, "Does this work?" And I'm all, "Not for this." She's like, "Okay." But she sits on the bench. She's trying to play with it, like, to get it to work. She's like, "It's not doing what I wanted to do." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's not turned on." "Well, turn it on." "No." "Well, then charge it." "No." "Well, then I'll go charge it."
Oh my God.
So she literally like jumps off the bed. She's trying to like find the right plug, because I have, like, my USB charger next to the bed for my phone, but this uses like this doesn't use the USB-C. So she's trying to like shove a USB-C into like a USB micro. Yeah. Dude, it's just having kids, man. I'm just telling you.
Oh, absolutely. Nerdy Mastermind. I'm addicted to that game too. That new Marvel card game on mobile.
Oh, is it good?
It's really good. It's a great card game, but it's so addicting.
Like Hearthstone.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know.
Well, like, not like Hearthstone, but like, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's free. Like, there's really very little microtransactions. Like, unless you want like variants of cards, but like they're not needed really. But it's just a great game. It's a really good game.
I'll have to check that one out there. Command Unit here for 5. Thanks, buddy. Says, "I think the internet gutter gave me PTSD. You guys talking about Sonic and brother and sister have triggered me."
Oh God.
Okay, so I don't know what that is.
I think he's like referencing porn stuff, I think. I don't know.
Listen, I understand that Rule 34 exists and that there's a lot of weird /fic that comes out of every fandom. The fact that Supernatural actually made that a plot point in an episode is really funny to me. Because yeah, the Prophet. The guy the prophet that writes the books about the Winchesters.
Yeah.
Okay, so like the first episode, they meet him. They find out that he writes these books and there's a big fan base and they go and they talk to one of the girls, and she's writing a slash fic about Dean and Sam hooking up. And I was like, my girlfriend was watching it, and I was just like on the computer, and I heard her mention slash fic, and I just kind of perk up and go, what?
Right.
I'm like, wait,
What?
what's going on? And she's like, what's that? And I'm just like, yo, I'm like, that girl's writing an erotic story about those two dudes fucking. And she's like, why? And I'm like, because the internet.
Yeah.
Like, there is a lot going on. I'll tell you guys this. Here's something to warp your brain as we wind down the show. If you happen to like fan fiction, but you might have a bit of a, I don't know, disturbing side to your brain, Google Agony in Pink.
I don't think I want to. I'm scared.
Agony, yeah. Oh, yeah. Agony in Pink is a fan fiction that was written by some guys on a BDSM. It's a BDSM fan fiction that is all about the Pink Ranger and what happens to her. And it is not good.
Oh no. Oh no. I don't know. Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm like, just from that description alone, it's like, oh dear.
Oh yeah,
dear.
no, agony in Pink is it's definitely it's definitely crazy, dude. Like, I covered it actually for an older episode of the podcast, the Weird Stories podcast. And it's like, I didn't go through the full story, like, but like certain passages of it, and it is twisted. It's dark. It's twisted. It is bad. I think like the even like talked like I don't remember if the FBI got involved or not, but I have to go back and find the episode. It's crazy. Anyway, so there's that one. Anyway, Ryan here for $5 says, thank you, Ryan. It's interesting that Shadow's being hinted for Sonic 3, which means he might go into Gunn, Maria, and Gerald Robotnik.
Oh yeah, that whole story is like really dark too, so I don't know how they're gonna do it.
What exactly is that?
Basically, like, so Sonic is like god. This is like some deep lore shit I gotta remember. I'm probably butchering it, so if you don't kill me, Sonic fans, but like from what I remember, basically Sonic is like this creation of Gerald Robotnik, who's the grandfather or father of R. Robotnik, like Jim Carrey's character in the movies. He had like a granddaughter named Maria, who's a little girl who befriended Shadow, who is this creation of Gerald Robotnik to be like the ultimate life form, like a weapon. Then Gunn came in. They murdered everybody to shut down the program. Gerald Robotnik blew himself up or something. They killed Maria as well. So Shadow hates humanity because Maria was his best friend, and Gunn killed her, or it's implied that Gunn killed her. That's basically the story, from what I remember.
Wow.
Yeah.
So does like Shadow end up becoming a friend of the group, or
he's like the Black Adam of the Sonic world? He's like,
I can already tell you right now, he will make more money than Black Adam.
He's like the rogue of the group. He's got like, sometimes he joins them, sometimes, my prediction is he's going to be a bad guy through most of it, but he's going to have to work with Sonic to defeat Metal Sonic. I think Metal Sonic will be the secret villain of that movie.
Do you think? Well, I mean, obviously, that's kind of how these things tend to work.
Because they need to have another villain for them to fight. So
yeah, crazy. Well, that's going to be something we're checking out.
What I want to know though is, will they introduce Rogue the Bat, and will they censor her? And what about Amy Rose?
I don't know.
They got those two female characters.
Well, they're probably going to set it up in the Knuckles TV show.
Oh yeah.
Because like, how are you gonna have a Knuckles TV show without Sonic and Tails at this point?
Well, also Rogue, Rouge the Bat was introduced via Knuckles storyline in Sonic Adventure 2.
Okay.
So Knuckles and Rouge have that connection because Rouge tries to steal the emerald. So
wait, which one gets censored? Is it?
Rouge the Bat. Yeah, look up the Sonic Prime design. People are upset that she got censored in Sonic Prime. They put her in a full jumpsuit.
Okay. So what is she? Okay, that's Sonic Prime. She's in a jumpsuit.
Yeah, I mean, just look up Rouge the Bat. Like,
All right. I mean, like, oh, okay. Oh, she's in a full jumpsuit, but there's another one of her. She's got some titties.
yeah, she's known for that. Yeah,
So she, oh my God, it's like the whole fucking Tifa thing all over again.
pretty much. Yeah, people are upset.
No. Oh my God. Why?
Amy
Why do
wrote-
people
Well,
do people care so much about anthropomorphic animals, man? Like if you want to see titties, there are titties. Not a problem. I could probably go for, hold on. Rouge the Bat. Now I'm just going to Google this. Rouge the Bat Rule 34. Rule 34. Let's see here. What do we got? What do we got? Nothing to it. Oh, no. Wow, they gave her a dumper on that one. Jesus. All right. I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, all right. She's just anyway.
She's meant to be the femme fatale of Sonic, basically.
Oh
She's
God.
like the femme fatale.
Jeez.
So it's like she's meant to be like vaguely sexy, I guess, if you're into that. Like, I don't know.
It's all like, gotta go fast. I mean, you know, she's just gonna be like, "Hi, Sonic, are you gonna come for me?"
No, it's Knuckles. Like it's all about Knuckles.
Oh, she just wants to get fisted.
Well, no, because Knuckles is like a meathead who doesn't understand anything, so it's kind of like the running.
Oh, a lot of like double entendres and things like
I
that.
think so.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Oh my God, how many blowjob jokes are gonna be in that show? So many.
I don't know.
So many. Also, maybe fisting jokes. Geeks here says, I want to see Charlo search history. Pretty much whatever you guys find on whatever we talk about on here is that. Anyway, I'm not into bestiality. I don't find that shit to be interesting. However, what I do find to be interesting are super chats. We got one from Command Unit here. Take a look at this Warhammer 40K Regicide gameplay trailer. Check this thing out. Hopefully the music won't get it taken down. There's been a lot of that recently. But this trailer has been approved for a general audience, which kind of sucks.
I would hope so.
Mature.
Rated M.
The Space Marines exist to bring death to the enemies of the Emperor. No matter how strong, they shall fall before us. But the Codex Astartes teaches us that strength is not the only virtue of battle. To achieve victory, strategy and tactics must be
It's an
over.
RTS game, damn it.
Oh, it's a
not
turn-based.
enough to defeat the enemy.
No, it looks RTS. Well, it's a mix of turn-based and RTS. But...
It's no, it's real. RTS is real time.
Oh, okay.
All right. When did
Is this already out?
I don't know. 2015? No, what? 2015?
Oh, so this is
Let's
the
see
old
here.
one.
7 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Is this on? I'm assuming this is on.
PC.
Yeah, PC. Looks like. I mean, it looks like a mobile game. Oh, it's 40K chess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 40K chess. Okay, thanks for that one. Ryan here says for 5, thanks, buddy. Be sure to check out 2 a.m. and the PM. Okay, right, that's the one. We will end it on that. He'd asked me to watch this the other day. 2 a.m. and the PM says it's like Clerks on Acid. Clerks on Acid. That's
So
interesting.
the cartoon.
Yeah, it's an animated thing. All right. Let's see here. Is it up on the screen? It is up on the screen. All right. JG Quintel. Who? Wait, that sounds
Oh
familiar.
my god, that's the creator of the regular show.
How much longer?
And
This
close
is
enough.
so boring.
It's only 2 more hours, dude.
Dude, is this like early regular show concept video?
I guess I've never seen the
Two
regular
more
show.
hours. 2 more hours. Fuck.
Dude, want some candy?
Nah. No thanks.
Oh, come on. It's Halloween.
Mm.
Come on, you
It has
gotta
to
have
be
candy, man.
regular
You gotta
show,
have candy
early
on Halloween.
concept.
It's Halloween.
Eh.
Dude, candy.
Oh, alright.
Yeah.
I think there's something wrong with this candy.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I don't know. It tastes funny.
Huh. Oh, yeah. No, yeah, that's because I put drugs in it.
What? Why? What's wrong with you?
Oh, dude, I'm
I just
sorry.
hear Mordecai
I
and
thought
Benson.
Oh, Hup, you thought wrong. I mean, what did you put in these things anyway?
it's just a little marijuana. It's just a little marijuana.
Weed candy. You put weed in a candy bar.
Oh no, wait. No, I remember now. Don't worry, dude. I didn't put any weed in this candy. It was acid.
What? Acid? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm sorry.
I mean, you said that like acid is safer than weed. You know it's not, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that.
Ugh! I've never done acid before. I didn't want to do acid. But even if I did, I'd much rather be told about it than slip some stupid milk chocolate Mickey.
Look, I'm sorry. Okay, I really am. But what's done is done. My advice at this point: just calm down and enjoy it. You know what I mean? Seriously, man. It's too late.
I guess you're right. Well, when is it supposed to kick in?
Right fucking now.
What?
Oh, look in the window.
What the fuck? This is crazy.
I don't see this
Come
early
on, that's
Benson
not
design.
me. That's not me. If this crap fucks up my brain, I'm gonna kill you, man. This is stupid. I'm a gumball machine.
Come on, it's supposed to be fun.
This? Not fun, man.
Oh, cool.
Fuck off!
Hey, this isn't my fault, alright?
Not your fault, huh?
Not my fault.
Not your fault. Okay, stop it. This is too weird.
Yeah, this is getting a little weird for my
It's
taste.
Mordecai.
Especially right now.
What are we gonna do when someone comes in for gas? We can't help people when we're like this. We can't help people when we're like this.
Yeah, we can.
No, we're gonna get fired over this crap.
Look, just calm down. It's 2 in the morning, nobody's coming in for gas right now, okay? Okay?
What do we do? What do we do?
Just shut up. Just shut up for a second. I have to think. Oh,
Shit, what do we do? What do we do? Fuck, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
oh. Okay, I got it.
What?
We just have to concentrate on what we're supposed to look like, and then we'll switch back.
What?
I heard it makes it wear off faster.
You are so full of shit.
Do you have a better idea?
Fine.
be cool. Just be cool. It worked, all right? Shh, shh, shh.
How's it going, fellas?
Good, good.
It's kind of slow. Yeah, I hear that. But it is Halloween. Everyone tends to be on foot.
Yeah.
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 Hey! You two staying out of trouble? I'm just messing with you. I just need a little midnight snack. How much do I owe you? Okay, that'll be 124. These chips are a little stale.
Oh, do you want
No,
to...
no. It's fine.
Shh, shh. Do you hear that? What? What?
I fucking hate you.
Oh, come on. It's supposed to be fun.
Okay, so for context, here's the funny thing. So that really like connected with me more so a little bit because like I loved the regular show growing up. Because JG Quintel, like he's got like that stoner based kind of comedy, right? But like the funny thing is he made a kids cartoon first. And then he did Close Enough for HBO Max, which just recently got canceled. So it's kind of like it's like when you see like the Rick and Morty pilot, where it's kind of like you kind of like see like where these like humors and like character designs went to later. So it's kind of unique, kind of seeing that, you know.
Okay. I mean, yeah, no, I get that. I get that.
It's definitely Clerks inspired. That was kind of the funny thing. Like I could see like he's definitely a fan of Clerks for sure.
Oh yeah, no, that was really good. That was really funny.
Well, especially like because that's like a test animation thing, kind of like a pitch idea maybe for like a comedy. So, like I said, it's kind of just fun to like see where like some of these designs came from, and kind of like see like, oh okay, you can see like some of the building blocks. It's just so funny, like these guys who like very much love their adult humor and end up going making kids cartoons. Because regular show was like really funny, but it was also like kind of like more for teenagers too in a way. It's like kind of more like that like adultish humor a little bit. So
yeah, I've never seen
because when he turns into the bird, that's Mordecai, and he's voiced by JG Quintel, who's the creator as well. And then when the other guy turns into the gumball machine, that's the character design of Benson from the show. So it's kind of cool seeing where like those came from. So. And they originated from a stoner animated comedy for adults. That was meant to be it. I don't know. It's just kind of funny to me. Oh yeah, regular show does have Mark Hamill. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna absolutely take your word for that. It had 8 seasons.
Yeah, it was one of the most popular. Like, because that was when Cartoon Network had its renaissance. Because it came out at the same time as Adventure Time, and those two shows like helped Cartoon Network like dominate the 2010s. So yeah, they were huge.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. So JG Quintel went to Cal Arts.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty funny. Wow. A lot of people seem to like.
I was really because like Close Enough was like his chance to like finally make an adult cartoon for adults, like with like his sense of humor. It was pretty good. I mean, like obviously, like I have my soft spot for the regular show, but like. Close Enough was like really good, and then it got canceled because of like the tax write-offs. So,
it got canceled and then pulled off the service.
Because of the tax write-offs.
Yeah,
sucky.
So, regular shows on HBO Max, but
because that's too popular, they can't do a regular show. So, Close Enough was like an original that they did. It was also on TBS for a little bit. So
I'll have to give it a check out. I've never.
Listen,
never seen it.
Regular show still like I know regular show's like a kids cartoon kinda, but it's got like an adult edge to it still. But regular show's still funny, man. That show's still funny. Like, it's just so fucking random. Like, again, definitely Clerks inspired a little bit, you know? So.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I'll have to check that out a little bit. Because I mean, for me, like the LOL random is not necessarily my thing. So
yeah, regular show does have some LOL random stuff too. And I'm not gonna lie, but I think it does it well enough. To be honest.
Okay. Well, cool. Well, okay, guys. On that note, it is like I said, it's now almost 1 a.m. Haven't heard anything out of my kid, but I do gotta get to bed because I still have to be up early with them in the morning. Fridays, man. At least I get to sleep in on Saturdays. That's good.
That's true.
I'll be driving tomorrow night. It's fucking gonna be so god. It's gonna drop to like the 20s here. This weekend. It's gonna be real cold. So I'll be out doing deliveries, hopefully making some money. I'll try to do a stream tomorrow night. I don't know if anything happens. Or if anyone has any fucking subjects they want to talk about, I guess. I don't know. Preferably, I prefer just talking about like a movie, things we haven't seen, maybe, or whatever.
Yeah.
Because again, like the news has just kind of been like drag all week, you know.
Well, if you get desperate enough, there is the Doctor Who stuff, so it's always in the back burner.
Well, there's also the Weird Al movie. You know, that could be a fun one to talk about. And you know, I think a lot of people are going to watch the Weird Al movie. Are you guys going to watch the Weird Al movie?
I'll try to check it out eventually.
Fucking watch the Weird Al movie. He does. It looks as the Will Forte is in it. Evan Rachel Wood plays Madonna, and her and Weird Al get into a relationship. It's not a real biopic, which is the thing I love about it.
I think the idea was that it's meant to be like a parody of biopics. Like, it's Weird Al. Like, if Weird Al made a biopic, this is what it would be. Like, it's a joke. Yeah. It's a farce.
Oh yeah. Well, I see Jay Sands. He's like, oh, it's not my thing. I'll skip it. Like, well, you're missing out on like comedy, man. You know, Geeks here. The Weird Al movie is streaming on Roku. So and it's
free.
And it's free. So so it will be all over the internet in a number of ways. But all right.
It's on right now.
It's on right now. Yeah, it's after midnight. Oh, see? I just like I'm tired. All right, guys. Good chit chat with everybody. Thank you all so much for coming by. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace the fuck out. And like the stream. You haven't already like it. Like it.